Okay, here we are in the 2026 Model Y Juniper, just getting ready to head on another road trip, and I'm going to show you the Juniper here real quick. Let's take a look. It's busy here this morning. I had to pull the car out of the garage. Got the halo back wheel covers on here. It's in ultra red, and just leaving the house and getting ready to head down the road. Car is fully loaded. And got the doggos in the back and loaded up. So anyway, today, we are headed to Roanoke, Virginia. I'm going to punch that in and show you how far away that is. And let's take a look here. Favorites. We're headed ultimately to this Hampton Inn Salem East in Roanoke, Virginia. Well, that didn't work, did it? That one. We do have FSD 14, so this is a cross-country road trip. Y'all requested that I take the Model Y Juniper instead of the Mercedes EQS or instead of the Rivian R1T. Now, I've got the Cybertruck that's getting FSD 14 today, and it's sitting in Roanoke, Virginia, so we're going to bring it back from Roanoke, Virginia after spending a few days up there. I was looking, by the way, this charger in Little Rock's been out of order. I was trying to see if they upgraded it. They did not. It's still 10 stalls, 150 kilowatt. It's wanting me to stop at the Olive Garden at another 150, so it's wanting me to hit a bunch of 150s. The market at Wolf Creek, I've charged there many times. Anyway, they've kind of renamed these in the, shows you, wow, really cool renaming. It shows where you're going instead of just supercharger. It says Olive Garden, Outlets, Market, Holiday Inn, Buc-ee's, Brookville Town Center, Rural Farms. That's really clever. Where's this Rural Storm? Abington, Virginia. So that's a newer one for sure. Anyway, we're not going to do all those, but you can see total distance 1,125 miles between today and the next several days. So for today, we're actually going to head to the Horseshoe in Bossier City, Louisiana. So let's type that in. Here we are. Horseshoe, Bossier City, a Caesars Resort. Again, they've clearly renamed stuff. So it's saying I don't need to stop and charge at all. It's 220 miles. I'll arrive with 12%. I am not going to reset my trip gauge for this Roanoke, Virginia trip. So keep in mind, we're starting out with 333 miles, 255 watt-hours per mile. I'm trying to get an overall, for the first few thousand miles, the wheel covers. How are the halo back wheel covers compared to regular? And so far, I'm seeing a few percent difference, just maybe 3% better, 2-3% better at 255 watt-hours per mile versus lifetime on the car. Today, we are going to hit 10,000 miles. I'll give you a 10,000 mile review. I'll post that separately as well. And let's show you what software we're leaving on. We're leaving with software, FSD software 14.1.4 and 2025.32.8.16. So pretty latest software. We are on the early release stuff, and guess what? We're ready to head out of town. It shows if we don't stop and charge, we'll be there before 1 p.m. We're going to stop. I'm estimating we'll be there at 1:30 to 2. Let's see how it goes. Let's get on the road, and I'll update you from the road. I think we're going to stop at an EV Go charger in Tyler, Texas. Let me take a look and see if I can find that, which is, I think, a little over halfway, and usually a pretty good stop. And I think it's, whoops, so I wasn't quick enough, it looks like. EV Go, Tyler. EV Go chargers near Tyler. No results found. Wait a minute here. So let's just hit this one and see if it's right along the interstate. If this is the one right off of 20, we're in good shape. And it is. So Let's edit trip. We're going to add under recents, Horseshoe Bossier City. Okay, so we're 2 hours and 12 minutes, arriving around 11:29 with 46%. Won't need to charge, but I've got free charging until July of 2026. It is currently November of 2025, so I've got another 8 months. I might as well use that. And let's hit the road and head that direction. We are going to use FSD. So let me get my seatbelt on, and I'm going to show you kind of how that works on the latest version. It's actually really, really cool. And all I do is I click right here, and I click Start Self-Driving. And off we go. It's been a while since I've taken a road trip in the Juniper. Many of you have requested that my next big cross-country road trip, we use this, so that's the plan. I'm going to take this up to Roanoke, Virginia, bring the Cybertruck back on version 14 so we can do a version 14 software comparison. Now, on the Cybertruck, it's got the latest software that's downloading today, and it has eliminated the brake pedal stuttering and the steering wheel stuttering that people have been complaining about. I'm being told that is fixed. So this Model Y will get that soon, but the Cybertruck's going to be on even newer software. And I'm really excited because FSD on the Cybertruck has not been great. It has been hugging the left line, and I've had to shut it off a lot on road trips because it would actually go over the left line on the interstate, right along the rumble strips. I've had a number of issues with it, with that particular issue, and I'm being told that is totally fixed. So, off we go, starting out our trip, and FSD has pulled us out of the neighborhood. Absolutely fantastic, loving it, and looking forward to driving this 1,200-mile trip on FSD pretty much the entire way. I'm going to sit back, relax, let the car drive me, and I'll keep you updated as we go. Thanks for following along. By the way, before we get too far in the video, if you enjoy this type of real-world EV road tripping and charging and whatever, click like, click subscribe, shoot me a comment, positive, negative, or otherwise. I appreciate all feedback. And my content is just real world. It's me, you, and the camera. Not a lot of fancy, really no fancy video editing, overlays, music, whatever. This is just me talking, us riding together, and I'm going to show you how this thing works real world. So if you enjoy that, subscribe. All right, let's go. Here we go for an adventure. Okay, so here's a quick video update. We've been running along at highway speeds, so not tremendous efficiency, but 45 miles roughly, 271 watt-hours per mile. Lifetime on the car, 261.8 watt-hours per mile. And remember, we started out with 333 miles on the Halo back covers. And yeah, we're doing good. It's 72 degrees out, 10 a.m. And we left, I think it was, what, 9:15? You probably saw on the clock. I don't recall. I am manually driving. It's been a ton of construction, super, super busy traffic, accidents, etc. I'm on 80 East now. I'm past the Dallas-Fort Worth area riding along. And, yeah, looking forward to getting out of this traffic, that's for sure. It's been stop and go, pretty fast overall highway speeds, which is why you see that terrible efficiency starting out. But the car was sitting there idling for a while when I departed this morning, which, you know, that HVAC system will definitely suck up some watt-hours per mile. So that's probably the biggest reason, not so much the speed. But we are now cruising. We've got 81% left on the battery, showing arriving to this first charging stop in about an hour and 15 minutes. 80 miles to go, arriving around 48%. Again, I don't need to charge, but we're going to stop, throw a little juice in, walk around, stretch our legs, maybe get a cold drink, whatever, and get back on the road. This is a very short one today, just a couple hundred miles. Easy, easy, easy. Headed to Bossier City, Louisiana, but we're already about a quarter of the way done with the trip, which is good. So I will keep you updated. Beautiful day, as you can see, and very, very smooth drive in the Model Y Juniper. I was using FSD, and then there was all the traffic jams, accidents, etc., and we had to go from the expressway back to the regular lane, off and exit very quickly, and I just took over and did it. I'm sure FSD would have done it, but I'm trying to get there today, and I chose to do it. I know I got to break those habits because FSD is amazing. and we are going to roll with it. And I'm going to show you more about FSD 14 here as we ride along today, including all the different driving profiles, all the cool settings, and how well it works. But I will be back with you shortly. This is going to be a fun one. And by the way, you're going to see this entire trip over several days. So even though I'm stopping and staying in Bossier City and I've got a dinner meeting, whatever, you're going to see it as it happens very quickly as we transition then and travel up, probably staying around the Atlanta area tomorrow night, and then staying in Charlotte, North Carolina the next night or two, and then on to Roanoke, Virginia. So yeah, stay with me for the adventure. Okay, we are making amazing progress. Absolutely beautiful out, and 275 watt-hours per mile. This is not the most efficient stretch as I head out of Dallas-Fort Worth. This is really rough roads, rough road surfaces, pretty loud, even though it's fairly quiet in the Juniper. I can talk very quietly, and you can still hear me. Anyway, it's 10:40 a.m., 77 degrees out. I am still driving. I've actually enjoyed manually driving a little bit this morning. Once I stop and charge, I think I'm just going to let the car take over for the rest of the trip today. Anyway, going to get there with about 49%, and got 47 miles, about 41 minutes to go. So far, been uneventful, been good, making great progress, making good time, and super happy with the Model Y Juniper. I'm really glad I brought this car. Tons of room in it. We have it loaded down with a lot of stuff and still have room to spare. Really impressed. I am looking forward, though, to bringing the Cybertruck back on the next trip and see how it does with the new version of FSD. That's super exciting. So anxious to get that. And but all in all, I got to tell you, this Model Y Juniper has to be one of the best cars for the money on the road, period. And if you want a performance model, it's out there now, too. Remarkably good vehicle. And if you need a referral code to buy a Tesla, or any of the accessories that you'll see throughout the video, like my 3W floor mats that are really impressive and amazing, check the links in the description of the video. There's a referral code in there for you to buy your next Tesla, save some money. Also helps me. And also discount code using BYTESLA, BY Tesla, which is my YouTube channel name, or X name. It saves you percentage off at stores like EV Base, Test Studio, 3W Mats, Halo Back for the wheel covers. There's some significant savings out there, so check out those links. And again, if you're going to buy a Tesla, you're going to buy a Rivian, whatever, those links are in the description of the video. So anyway, I'll be back with you here shortly. I'm going to keep, I've been working all morning, been on the phone the entire time. Haven't filmed as many video clips as I normally would, but this is kind of what it looks like riding through the eastern part of Texas. And you'll see here, where are we at? Wills Point, Texas, down there in the bottom right. It shows you where you're at any given time on the Tesla nav. And yeah, beautiful, beautiful day. Beautiful driving experience overall. And again, absolutely love this Model Y Juniper. I'm very, very pleased with this vehicle, and glad that I'm bringing it on this trip. Okay, let's pump back over to the left lane. It just drives so smooth. Yeah, FSD is great, but I'll tell you, when you've driven a car for 30 plus years of your life, about 35 years now I've been driving. I love to drive. I drive 50 to 75,000 miles a year. It's really, really decompressing for me. Really helps me, and very therapeutic for me driving. I don't know about you, but I enjoy road tripping. I enjoy driving, and sometimes it's fun just to take the wheel. These electric vehicles are so responsive. They handle well. The acceleration is amazing. They're very planted because of low center of gravity. They are just fun to drive. So I wouldn't want to be without FSD. It's gotten that good that if you have a Tesla, you got to have it, especially if you can get the new software that I'm running, version 14. But you really have to have a hardware 4, an AI 4 car to really experience it. The hardware 3 cars, they're just not there with full self-driving. It's good, but it is impressively great on the new Model Y. Anyway, thanks for following along. I'll be back with you here in just a little bit as we continue to ride across. And by the way, we are now on 20 East, which will be on all the way across the bottom part of the U.S. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to be going through Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia, up through to North Carolina. And as a matter of fact, we'll hit South Carolina as well. So quite a few states over the next couple of days, and then ultimately ending up in Virginia. So I don't know what that is, like 7 or 8 states, but it's a lot. Okay, I'll be back with you here shortly. So with the latest version of FSD, there are new driving profiles. You have Mad Max, Hurry, Standard, Chill, and Sloth. So they added Mad Max and Sloth. And if you click right here, you can tell it when you get there to go to the parking lot, driveway or charger, or curbside. Really, really cool. And we're going to say we want to go to the charger destination. Now, I don't know if that's considering my next destination the stop or not, but we're going to the chargers here at the Pilot Flying J EV Go Charger, so we'll see how that works out. But it's in Mad Max right now on the highway, and you'll see it's maxed out. Now, when I scroll this scroll wheel right here, it changed it back to Hurry, and that will slow it down a little bit. It won't be quite as aggressive with lane changes and all that. And then Standard will drop the speed back some to about 10% over, I've found, and so on and so forth. And then Sloth runs typically below the speed limit, which a lot of people like. They just want to drive real easily. So far today, sorry about that. But yeah, we're 94 or so miles. Got about 30 minutes to go, and we'll be at the first charger. So I will update you here as we get closer. Okay, so here we are riding along in Standard. And guess what just popped up? Reconditioning the battery for fast charging. So we are 21 miles out. And again, for those that don't know, if you plug in third-party DC fast chargers, for the most part, the Tesla will now precondition to those. That's a software update that happened in roughly the last year, where they added third-party DC fast charger support for preconditioning. It still doesn't fully understand that I'm going to charge the car there, because it won't tell me how long to charge there, and it doesn't really know how all those work. And it'll still recommend supercharger stops, even if I plug in third-party DC stops. But it does precondition the battery, which heats or cools the battery to the optimum temperature to accept the maximum charging rate possible. And at 78 degrees out, what it's doing is heating the battery up closer to 95, 100 degrees, whatever, to get to that optimum cell temperature so it can accept maximum current. Now, not a huge deal because we're pulling in 49%, but it will help. And so it'll precondition for a bit. Now, it'll vary. Sometimes it pops on an hour, hour and a half away, especially in very, very cold or very, very hot weather. Mostly in very, very cold weather, it's got to heat the battery up to the right temperature. And that can take a good hour, hour and a half, I've seen on road trips in sub-zero temperatures. Now, in the normal conditions, probably 10 to 20 miles away, it'll usually precondition further on the first stop. Once the batteries have charged once and are heated up properly, each stop after that, it doesn't precondition as long. So today we're just planning to make the one stop only. That puts us about halfway there. And then we'll head on to Shreveport. So hopefully this will be the last stop. We're only 20 minutes out. We're going to stop there, juice up a little at the EV Go charger. This is an easy one. I've charged here quite a few times, and you'll see it's just right off of the highway. So, as a matter of fact, it's on the same side of the road we are. So you just get off, and it's right there on the right. The nice thing about the Pilot Flying J EV Go chargers is they're at truck stops, 24/7 amenities, all that. The negative is they're expensive. So if you're paying for these, honestly, I have to recommend against them. The EV Go discounted charging plan, you can pay a monthly fee with EV Go to buy down your charging rate, It does not work at what they call their extended network, which is any of the Pilot Flying J chargers. It's super unfortunate because these are really nice chargers and they work well overall, but they're like 60 cents plus a kilowatt hour in most cases. I've seen them as high as 65, close to 70 cents a kilowatt hour. I mean, that's just expensive and doesn't make sense to me. And by the way, I just kicked it into Mad Max mode so that it can go ahead and get around this truck. And you'll see it just kind of took off, went around, jumped in the left lane, and past those vehicles. And it Mad Max maxes it out. So now I'm going to kick it back to hurry again. And it'll calm it back down. But it did what it needed to do to get around. Anyway, the EVgo chargers are very nice. They are CCS, so I have to use my adapter, which I have in the door of the vehicle. But I'm trying to look here. We've got a car off to the side of the road. Must just be broken down. It's strange how it's angled like that. Anyway, but you'll see now I dropped it into standard, and it dropped down to about 5 miles an hour over the speed limit. If I pop it up to hurry, you'll feel the car speed up and pick up speed. Pretty cool how the different profiles. No longer do you control the speed, you just change driving profile. Frankly, it works a lot better than it would never stay at the speeds, and it hugged the left lane the whole time. I don't know if you noticed, but it jumps back to the right lane pretty quickly now. FSD has gotten so much better. But yeah, EVgo, they're great. I've got my CCS adapter in the door. Not a problem. I'll be able to plug in, juice up. And the nice thing about EVgo is they have what's called Auto Charge Plus. So if you download the EVgo app and your vehicle's compatible, which most all Teslas are, my Cybertruck is, my Model Y is, whatever, you type in your VIN number. The first time you charge, you have to kind of like manually activate it. After that, it just Auto Charge Plus. Every time you plug in, it's plug and charge. So I don't have to activate the charger at all, unlike Electrify America, which is ridiculous. They don't have plug and charge active. It's so stupid. But they do with like certain cars now, but just very few. My Mercedes has the Mercedes charging program, and it'll plug and charge at a lot of different chargers. Charge points, a lot of different brands. I just plug in and it rips and charges, which is really, really cool. So, wow, they were searching that vehicle. Anyway, 15 miles now till we jump off the exit. Just a beautiful drive out through the country here on the eastern part of Texas. We're now right around Lindale, Texas. Smooth, quiet, comfortable. Around 277 watt hours per mile. We'll see if I see much of a difference overall with the range wheel covers. What I've found on this trip is going east, the first half of the trip is less efficient. The last half is super efficient. Overall, it's going to come down to, do these halo back wheel covers beat my overall average of around 262 watt hours per mile? So far, I'm not seeing that 8 to 10% difference, but I'm a road tripper running at high highway speed, so let's see real world how they perform. I really like the look of them. I think they set the car apart. Theoretically, they should be excellent. We'll see. We'll see how they do. Okay, so last kind of update on this little section of video. You know, it's 77 degrees out. It is 11:06 a.m. currently. I'm going to arrive around 11:19. I've made pretty good time to this first stop, and we've already driven 111 miles in the last hour and 48 minutes. So until we get there, it'll have been about 2 hours of driving and roughly 125 miles. It's about a 200-mile total trip, so we're a little over halfway there, and so it'll be probably just under 2 hours for the remaining leg. And let's take a look and see what it says. So arriving here at 11:20, getting there at 12:44. So it's about an hour and a half from my final destination. Once we charge here, I'll probably be here 15-20 minutes. I need to stretch my legs, use the restroom, maybe grab a refreshment, a snack, whatever, and then get back on the road. So looking forward to getting there, and I'm glad that it is warm weather today. We had a massive cold front go through this past early in the week. past Sunday, Monday, where it was freezing temperatures through most of the U.S. It's currently mid-November, about a week and a half, roughly 2 weeks, almost exactly 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. So I love the weather here in the South, but you can see the leaves are definitely changing colors down here. Obviously a lot of evergreen trees, but other trees are dropping off, and even at my house in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, same thing. So we're almost into those what we call the real winter months, where it's coat weather, and frankly, people have been wearing coats in Dallas-Fort Worth for the last few weeks since it dropped below 90 degrees. Okay, 11 minutes out. I'll be back with you here as we get to the charger. Okay, and here we are about to get off the exit number 562. You can see FSD hands-free is off. Detected device in hand. Getting off in half a mile, and then it's just right off of the exit is this Pilot Flying J, EVgo, GM Energy, etc., etc., etc. charging station. And you can look at the map and just see it's right there. So FSD's doing the work. It's going to exit me off. And by the way, I had it in chill mode. It jumped over to the right lane, did its thing. I'm going to slow it down to sloth here for this interchange. And there, it did it pretty well. It came through there before in the previous version of FSD, and I'm going to say it flew off that exit. It was rough. That was very, very smooth. This thing has gotten so lifelike and so good. I'm just really, really impressed with it. Right over here's the Pilot station. The GM Energy charger's right there with the canopy, you can see. And we're just about to pull into the charger. I am going to take over because I know right where I want to pull. It does look like we've got multiple cars charging. Wow, it's a pretty full station. We're going to go plug in beside this Chevy Bolt. We got a Kia EV6, a Mustang Mach-E, and a Chevy Bolt EV. Love to see it. Nice thing is this station has a McDonald's, good food options for fast food. Yeah, right. But yeah, let's get it plugged in. And let me pull up just a bit. I'm back in too far. There we go. That should be good. I'll be right back with you. I'm going to grab my CCS adapter out of the door. It's right here. Get plugged in and check back with you in just a second. And thank you, EV Base, for this very nice adapter. Okay, so this thing ramped right up. Still ramping just a little bit, but you know, at 123 kilowatts at 51%, it's about what you can expect on this car. And I've been plugged in for less than a minute, and there it's leveling out. So that's about right. And if I go to my home screen, there you go. So I'm charging at 120 kilowatts. The Bolt's charging at 45 kilowatts. So just shows you the difference in the cars. This is not great though. I mean, it's certainly better than what you're seeing on this side of the screen, but we could be doing better if we were in, for example, the EQS or even the Rivian would charge better. So anyway, let me go use the facilities. I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, here we are. And the Mach-E's going. Still got the EV6 charging. Still got the Bolt charging. Been here maybe 10 minutes. I used the restroom. We walked the dogs. Here we are in the EV Caddy. I wanted to show you. This thing's loaded up, but hold on one second. Let me just fix that. There we go. Here's the fridge by Test Studio. It pops open right there. It's at 41 degrees. Love that. Here's the 3W mat. Trunk liner. Unreal nice. And let's close that back up. By the way, the nice EV-based spoiler here. Here's that EV-based charger, CCS charger I was telling you about. Just amazing products here with some of these folks, and I love the halo back wheel covers. I'm just trying to show you all the add-ons, things I've added to the vehicle. I'm going to show you on this side. Here are the 3W mats, and I think they are really, really nice. There's the wheel covers. Test Studio, I have the power front trunk, which is amazing. That's a must-have. And let's see how we're charging. So we're up to 74%, pulling 65 kilowatts. We got plenty of juice. I'm just waiting on my wife. She went in to use the restroom here at this nice stop. It's a Pilot, Flying J, McDonald's. It's got everything you need. And yeah, we are going to get... We got a Honda Prologue pulling in to charge, but his charging port's on the other side, so he's going to have to back in. We're 30 minutes out. As of right now, we'll arrive to the Horseshoe with 45% left on the battery. The Prologue figured it out. He's backing in now. I wish all of them would just have the charging port on the driver's side back or passenger side front for trucks. That way when you're towing, you can pull in, but the chargers would all be configured the same way. So I don't know if that makes sense, but if it was on the front right or the back left, everything would be easy and pretty much the same. So this last leg, 125 miles, 274 watt hours per mile, higher than the lifetime average. And the halo back wheel covers right now slightly better than the overall lifetime. We'll see how it goes. We only have hour and 26 minutes, 93 miles to get to the Horseshoe in Bossier City. And should be there probably a little after 1 o'clock. We'll hit the road here in the next 5 or so minutes. I'm going to keep taking on free electrons in the meantime. It's only put in 19 kilowatt hours of energy. 60 kilowatts currently going in. Terrible charging curve on Teslas, but pretty efficient vehicles, so quick charging stop overall. I mean, the car's been ready to go. Frankly, we didn't even need to charge, and I pulled in at a high state of charge, and I'm just sitting here waiting. It's taking us longer than the car. Once again, the car's faster than we are, and we'll just kind of see how it goes. I will keep you updated here as we roll, and again, should be taking off in just a few minutes. I think we've been here probably 15 minutes now. So, but plug and charge worked great. I plugged in that EV base adapter. That took off right away and started charging. Let me show you this 3W mat that I'm using here on the driver's side. EV-based pedal covers and 3W mat, floor mats. Good stuff. Okay, here's an update. Back on the road, 75% on the battery. We were up to, I don't know, like 80%. And I've driven 15 miles, 12 minutes, 282 watt hours per mile. So far, if you remember, we started out with 333 on the halo back covers. We're at 473. So 140 miles of driving so far today. We've only got 78 miles left, an hour and 13 minutes. Should be there right around 1 o'clock. So pretty quick, easy trip today. 79 degrees out. The goal today was to knock a few hours out, have a meeting in Bossier City tonight, and then take off early tomorrow morning and try to drive basically to the Atlanta area, which is 8 to 9 hours tomorrow, and then only a couple hours or a few hours from Charlotte from there for that next morning. Looks like somebody's cleaning their windshield up ahead. Excuse me. I think I'm going to need to use some windshield washer fluid to clean that off. All in all, it's been a smooth, pretty uneventful trip. Let's keep it that way. And yeah, only a little over an hour left to go. So it's a funny plate there, hot VW on a Ram pickup truck. Interesting. Of course, I have an EV Caddy plate on my Tesla Model Y, because this car replaced my Cadillac Lyriq because it was trash. Terrible, terrible charging performance. Had to get rid of it. Could not road trip in it. And I travel for a living. So, by the way, we're at 9,993 miles. Just about to cross the 10,000 mile mark. And we'll give you that update here in just a few minutes. Okay, so we are officially there. We have a 2026 model Y Juniper that I picked up around March of 2025. Currently in Longview, Texas, running FSD version 14, and it is now November of 2025. So I've had this car a little over 7 months, going on 8 months total. I've just past 10,000 miles. So I wanted to give you kind of my 10,000 mile review, feedback, whatever. From the minute I bought the Model Y Juniper, I've been blown away by, first and foremost, the efficiency. My previous Model Y long range, which I drive on the same route, same way of driving, same highway speeds, averaged around 308 watt hours per mile for the lifetime of the vehicle. Over roughly 40,000 miles, I had that vehicle maybe in about a year and a half. I have not put anywhere near as many miles on this one as quickly, because I'm spreading the miles amongst multiple vehicles. However, I'm at 262 watt hours per mile. So it is about 15% real world more efficient. Now, since then, I've put on these halo back wheel covers, and you can see I've run almost 500 miles on those. It's a little more efficient overall, but not much. We'll see how that affects things long term. I've got to do more testing and more info to come. But my feedback on the Model Y Juniper is, I'm 6'5", 300 pounds. I'm a big guy. This is a very smooth, comfortable car. Very quiet. Most importantly, though, the full self-driving technology separates this, as well as the overall cost of ownership. It's an inexpensive overall car. The average new car is about $50,000. I think it's $49,000. You can have one of these for less than that. You can have one close to $40,000. You can get a premium model for mid to high 40s, which is what this is. This is the long-range all-wheel drive Juniper. And this thing has amazing power, amazing speed, amazing efficiency. I've had no maintenance. I've spent nothing on this car other than fuel, and I charge at home. To fill this up at home costs me less than $7 from 0 to full. And on the road at Tesla chargers, it costs around $20 from 0 to full. Way less than gas. Now, with that being said, charging at other non-Tesla chargers is more expensive. So there's that. But overall, my biggest recommendation is, if you're buying an electric vehicle like this, rotate the tires regularly. Keep your tire pressure set at least the recommended. So it recommends 42 cold. You can see them on a trip, and I'm at 46. In my opinion, I would run them at least 42, 43, 44 cold, because you will wear the tires out less quickly. Keep your air pressure regulated. These are heavy vehicles. They require higher PSI, and if you do that properly and you rotate them properly, I get around 35,000 miles out of a set of tires on a Model Y. There's many people that get more than that. That's just the way I drive. That's pretty equivalent to what I can get out of a new set of tires on any gas vehicle, around 35,000. So that would be an increased operating cost if you chew through tires more quickly. Keep it in chill mode instead of in normal or sport mode. Chill mode for the acceleration profile will keep it from accelerating so hard when you take off. These things have instant torque and instant power. You can chew through tires very, very quickly, and that can increase your costs. But overall, these things are smooth, efficient, and really, really amazing. I love the self-driving. I love the software. They get software updates fairly regularly. Every couple of weeks you get a software update, and that's all kinds of new features. Since I've gotten this vehicle, they've added all kinds of stuff to it, and it just keeps getting better and better. It's remarkable. It's a tech company who happens to make cars. Is it the smoothest and quietest car in the world? No, but it's better than most out there. Any comparable car in that $40,000 to $50,000 price range, I think this is hard to beat. And there's a reason it was the #1 selling car in the world, and why it'll continue to sell really well. Car looks much better, in my opinion, with redesign. I like the light bar on the front. I like the light bar on the back. I like the exterior styling. I think it's much better than the original. Excuse me. Styling, designs, and aesthetics are personal preferences, but I think as a whole, most people do like the look of the new Model Y better than the old one. The interior's gotten upgraded materials. I like that it has the blind spot LED indicator there. That's a nice feature. They just have added so much to it. Now, at 10,000 miles, of all the accessories and whatever, what would I recommend? Number one, the Test Studio Power Front Kit. That front trunk being powered is awesome. You hit the open button, it pops open. Hit the open button again, it closes it. You can do it from the app. It's all integrated right into the car, right into the app. It's outstanding. The Test Studio refrigerator for that rear cubbyhole I showed you earlier in my road trip video from Dallas-Fort Worth to Roanoke, Virginia. That's a must-have. The 3W floor mats are a must-have. The EV base spoiler and the EV base CCS 1 adapter. Those are must-haves, in my opinion. Tinting the windows, the side windows is a must-have with good ceramic tint that blocks out UV. And then you just have an amazing, amazing vehicle. Absolutely love it. Would highly recommend the Juniper to anyone out there looking. And if you're looking to buy one, do me a favor and look in the description of my video for the referral code. Click that link and you'll get a discount or a promotion or whatever when you buy your new Tesla. So please, if you're looking to purchase one, use my referral code. That does help. And if you're looking for any of those accessories, those codes are in the description of the video. Generally, the discount or coupon code at most of those websites is BYTESLA. Anyway, my content, if you want to follow, like, subscribe, follow the channel, it's just real-world EV content, charging. I've got 4 electric vehicles currently. I've had a total of 8, and I road trip across the country. I drive 50 to 75,000 miles a year, and I share those adventures with you. Right now, I'm on a road trip. I'm headed to Bodega Cooler, Louisiana, and this is just kind of my quick 30,000-mile feedback as the car drives me across the country. I'm about to cross into Louisiana, and you can see it's 79 degrees out here in mid-November of 2025. 12:16 p.m., 79 degrees, beautiful day. And here's my efficiency to give you an idea. Last 43 miles, 285 watt-hours per mile. You can see I'm running at highway speeds. And this thing is changing lanes. And by the way, guess what? The car is driving me. I'm not touching the pedals. If you notice down there, they're by themselves. And my hand's up here. The car is driving me. See that little green dot up there by the passenger airbag indicator? That means we're on self-driving and I'm hands-free. So what a remarkable, remarkable vehicle. Full self-driving version 14 is very human-like. It has different profiles. So right now I'm in standard, but I can choose between sloth, chill, hurry, and Mad Max. I can tell it at destination to go in the parking lot to charger or the parking garage or curbside. Just amazing what they've done with these vehicles. Again, I highly recommend it. Check one out, and if you're skeptical, go test drive one. There's free test drives at the Tesla service centers. Most of the time, they're very easy. They have you set up the Tesla app. They give you the key to the loaner in the or the demo vehicle in the Tesla app, and take off and drive one. That's what sold me. You know, I got my first EV about 3.5 years ago, and I bought it to learn more about them. And as soon as I bought one, my wife and I fell in love. She got a Rivian R1T. Shortly after that, that was our second EV, and from there, that's been her favorite vehicle she's ever had. We've had it over 3 years now, and I absolutely love it. It runs just like it did the day it was new. We've got 35,000 miles on that one, and I'm telling you, it is an amazingly good vehicle. Completely fantastic. That quad motor, R1T, 835 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 3.0 seconds. And by the way, my Model Y, if you take a look under software, it has acceleration boost. I used referral points, thanks to you all, when you purchase your Teslas, and I was able to get that. That's normally $2,000. That lowers the 0 to 60 time of this Model Y from about 4.7 or 4.8 seconds to 4.1. So that's about 100 horsepower performance boost for $2,000. Or I was able to use points, which is great, and I appreciate that. So this car, in sport mode, when I change the acceleration, so if I go under dynamics and I change it to sport, it runs like a top. You can see the software is super snappy, super quick, absolutely amazing. Look at that. I mean, just snappy, good, amazing are just some of the words I would use. I would say by far, at this price point, there's not a better vehicle on the planet. And anybody learning an EV or wants to road trip, I get asked a lot, how do you road trip in them? How do you charge them? Just buy a Tesla, plug it in the navigation. It'll tell you where to charge. Easy as it gets. Fantastic vehicle. Highly recommend it. This is the Model Y Juniper in Ultra Red. I can't show you the outside of it right now because I am driving. However, I can kind of show you here the hood. There's that beautiful red color. You can see it on the mirror. I think all the colors look really, really good. Personally, my two favorite are Quicksilver and Ultra Red. Quicksilver looks amazing in this vehicle, and Ultra Red looks spectacular as well. It's a toss-up, personal preference, but those two colors are outstanding. Candidly, though, I think it looks good in about every color. So if you have any questions, shoot me a comment, positive, negative, otherwise, post. Shoot me a question in the comment section. And other than that, safe travels, and thanks for following along. If you're watching the overall road trip, continue watching. And if not, feel free to check that out on the channel as well. You'll see a couple-hour video posted as I drive across the country in this Model Y Juniper from the Dallas-Fort Worth area to Roanoke, Virginia. Tonight, staying in Bossier City, Louisiana. You can see I'm going to arrive in about 45 minutes with 46% left in the battery. Almost there. And wow, it warmed up. It's 80 degrees out. Beautiful day. Big bump here. There we go. All right. Thanks for following along, everyone. And here you go. Got a pickup pulling a pickup. Check this out. An old Ford being pulled by a Dodge. Oh, it's a GMC. Sorry, I misspoke. GMC Sierra Denali. I apologize, GMC driver. That's a heck of a nice pickup. Pulling that really nice old Ford. So, anyway, we are in Marshall, Texas, riding along. And again, 10,000 mile review, 2 thumbs up, 10 out of 10. Model Y Juniper is as good as it gets. I highly recommend it to anyone. Take care, everyone, and have a great day. Okay, it continues to be a beautiful, beautiful day. 81 degrees out, 12:43 p.m. We're only 24 minutes, 25 miles away. Going to arrive with around 45%. And you'll see we're at 281 watt-hours per mile of consumption. So, sucking down the juice. But keep in mind, this is all highway miles. We are riding on I-20 at highway speeds in standard profile on full self-driving. We've got 53% on the battery currently. And I got to tell you, FSD makes driving so much easier when you travel across the country. Yeah, I enjoyed driving the first hour or so, and then after that I've kind of had this thing on and had it doing its thing. I will say this, it did a very human-like thing. I had a truck, like imagine this flatbed up here ahead, went ahead and cut in front of me in the left lane. Well, actually, it was camping in the left lane. I take that back. And the car got in the right lane. Well, the truck saw me get in the right lane, so it cut over to the right lane so that vehicles could pass it. And this stopped changing to the right lane. And even though it had the right turn signal on and it started to move, it just shifted back, stayed in the left lane, shut the turn signal off, and waited for the truck to move over, and then passed it. Exactly what I would have done as a human driver. It's just fascinating, the quick thinking, the instant response, and the human-like behavior of version 14 is out of this world. Now, this version has that stuttering where it'll, sometimes at intersections and stuff, it'll stutter or hesitate and accelerate, brake. I would best call it stuttering on the pedal. That's just an early version of 14. Supposedly, the latest release does not do that. I'm hearing rave reviews on .7. That just came out, and that's the one the Cybertruck's downloading today. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Nonetheless, I am enjoying the ride today. We're almost there. I'll update you here as we're getting into we'll pass through Shreveport into Bossier City. Be there soon. Okay, so we are in Shreveport according to Google Maps, which Tesla uses. Look down in the bottom right. These are rough roads through here. There is some construction, and they are working on improving them, but yeah, they have gotten pretty darn rough through this whole area. Anyway, we're only 3.4 miles away. We're going to get off Traffic Street in about 2.5 miles. You'll see we've driven 90 miles an hour in 22 minutes, 274 watt-hours per mile. Yes, FSD is driving me on these rough roads here in Shreveport, Louisiana, as we cross over the river, and we're going to be staying in Bossier City. And again, as I mentioned, I've got a meeting there tonight, and then off to the Atlanta area tomorrow night. I-20 closed ahead, it says, one lane between mile marker 20 and 26. I think we're getting off before that. I am going to dial back to chill mode. I was hoping it'd want to jump in the right lane here. Two right lanes closed ahead, it's saying. Nice looking Honda CR-V there, and that nice Honda blue. That's a nice blue. And up there, that golden building is the Horseshoe. That's where we're going. Let's go ahead and click it into hurry. Let it get past this truck. And let's put it back in standard. Now it's going to slide over. Right up there's the Horseshoe. There's downtown Shreveport. And over there you've got Samstown, Bally's. It's a casino town for sure. There's Boomtown on the right. There's a new one called Live, which several subscribers, one in particular, has mentioned several times to me. I have been there. It's nice, but personally I prefer the Horseshoe. Of course, I've been playing at Caesars for many, many years, and that helps and certainly encourages me to stay at a Caesars property. But this Horseshoe is getting run down. There's no question it needs some remodeling. So here's the good news though. We're only half a mile away. We're arriving with 45%. I'm going to pull into the valet area. I'm going to go ahead and unload the car, and then I'll take the car up and park it in the parking garage. I'll try to show you that, because they do have chargers here. They, I can't remember what charging system they use, but I have the app. I think it's Auto, and they charge for them, but that's fine. I can get plugged in and get up to 100% overnight, and hopefully they're available. And then that way, when I leave tomorrow, I'll be leaving with 100% to head to Atlanta. Atlanta's a good, probably 700 miles, 8-9 hours, something like that. 600-700 miles, 8-9 hours or so. And that's the plan for tomorrow. I'll probably stay right before Atlanta. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. But here we are pulling into the Horseshoe. FSD doing its thing. And now I'm going to take over because I want to go up here to the valet area. I want to pull in, unload the car, and then kind of go from there. So I'll be back with you here, and we'll see if we can get into a charger spot here in just a little bit. Okay, I am back here in the car and headed to the parking garage. Got it unloaded, got checked in, got everything in the room. It's now 1:28, so what'd that take, 20 minutes or something? And now we're headed right up to the parking garage. And by the way, stayed there at that Residence Inn many times. $94.2 miles since the last charge, 266 watt-hours per mile. Not too bad for those high-speed highway miles. 10,069 miles on the vehicle. Drove a little over 200 miles today, about 220 miles. Gonna head straight up here. And if I recall correctly, yeah, the parking is on level 2. for the EV charging, but it's all the way on the other side, so we have to kind of like wrap around here. Let's follow the directions. And we're going right over here. This is the entrance. So the chargers are right on the other side of this wall. There used to be Tesla wall chargers right here, and a J1772, like a wall box or a charge point or something. But now all the chargers are on this side, right over here. So we're going to go through right here. And we're going to go right back here to where these chargers are. And I'm almost positive these are Autel. Yeah, and they are. And we'll just go ahead and get into the proper side, the left side of that charger right there. Let's go ahead and pull up and straighten up. I clearly didn't do a good job pulling up far enough. Okay, I'd say we're pretty good right there. Very nice. And I'm going to grab my J adapter that I have in the door. This is a little door dock that I use that's from Tesla, actually. It's very, very nice. It goes right down in there. I've got the adapter. I've got the lock for it. And let's go ahead and get plugged in and get juicing. I'll be right back with you. So I have the Autel app, but I also have this handy dandy charge card. I just used it, tapped, and we are charging. Let's check out the pricing. Cost details. 38 cents a kilowatt hour tax, and then 50 cents a session. So we're going to let it juice up. I'm going to let it get to 100% here overnight, and we should be good to go. If it tops up at full speed right now, it will be full in 5 hours and 15 minutes. So not too bad. We're getting 10 kilowatt, 48 amp, 204 volt. So yeah, pretty good charging session. Great job Caesars and great job Autel. I'm going to be full of fuel and ready to roll first thing in the morning. Okay, I'm just taking off and letting this thing charge now overnight. And here it is, the Model Y Juniper, ultra red, ceramic coated with the halo black wheel covers. Let me know what you think. I think this is a sharp looking car. I love how the little spoiler offsets it in the back. I like how the wheel covers make it look. I don't know, y'all. I think it looks good. Anyway, and I love the window tint too. Check that out. I'll be back with you first thing in the morning. Okay, I'm just walking to the parking garage from the Horseshoe in Bossier City. A little run down in spots. We're just going to level 2. So it's a little under 600 miles. We're going to stay just west, just before Atlanta. Should be about 8 to 9 hours of driving plus charging. Probably about a 10-hour day. It's currently 7:10 a.m. Central, 8:10 Eastern. Now remember, we'll change time zones today, so we have to factor that in. The Model Y, to be honest, I checked the chargers last night. Nobody was on them. I slowed the charging speed down to 16 amps. And you can do that through the Tesla app or the screen of the car. So it finished charging about 2 hours ago. Showed 316 miles at 100% state of charge. Now, when new, This vehicle was rated for 327 miles, so it's lost 11 miles of range in 8 months, excuse me, in 7 or 8 months. No big deal. But here we are. And charging complete. Now it's down to 312, it's down to 99%. And we're starting out the morning, 553 miles, 261 watt-hours per mile on the halo back covers, which I'm not gonna reset. Let me go ahead and get the car loaded up, unplugged, and I will be right back with you shortly. 10,069 miles on the odometer, 262 watt-hours per mile on the lifetime. I'll be back shortly. I should mention charging cost $20.20. I just plugged in the hotel here in Atlanta. It says if we leave right now, we'll get there at 4:39 p.m. Remember, the time zone changes. So that would be 5:39. It shows 9 hours and 26 minutes, 586 miles, so just under 600 miles. Wants us to stop here, then here, and then here. And again, it's cool. It's changed it to the names of locations. I'm going to change that up because, as always, I'm going to try to use as many EVgo chargers as I can, using up my free charging. So I'm going to hit the road here this morning. I've got to go finish loading the car up. I got to pull around front, pick up my wife, pick up the doggos, and get on the road. So that's the plan right now. Stay with me. It's going to be a long one today, but it should be fun. Probably have 3 to 4 charging stops. I don't think I'll make it that far for the first stop. The nice thing is this car has incredible efficiency, which gives it very good range and very quick charging. So I love road tripping in the Model Y. I've missed this one. I haven't spent a lot of time in it with just picking up the new Mercedes EQS and driving the Cybertruck, etc. This is a great road tripper. So let me get loaded up here. I'm going to turn right in just a second, head up to the hotel entrance, and like I said, get the car loaded up. So I'll be back with you momentarily. All right, we are rolling through construction here just on the other side of Shreveport. Been driving for just a few miles. Got going right around 7:30. Took about 20 minutes to load the car. Lots of stuff. Just took a little bit. Anyway, we could make it to an EVgo charger in Pearl, Mississippi. Now, the thing is, in Pearl, there is a Tesla Supercharger version 2 there as well. However, it's about 3.5 hours, 30, 40 miles, whatever. The car can easily make it. We can't. So we're going to stop early. There is a EVgo Pilot Flying J in West Monroe, Louisiana, and you'll see it's 88 miles away. About an hour and 15 minutes left. Again, we've been driving for 6 minutes, so a little under an hour and a half. That's about as far as we can make it till we need to stretch our legs. Somebody needs to use the restroom, whatever. So we're going to make probably a few stops today. I'm going to guess 4 or 5 total, just to break the day up, and so we're not driving for such long stretches at a time. And it should be good. Starting out, of course, efficiency isn't great. The car was sitting there, we'll call it idling, but running the HVAC system. And it's 310 watt-hours per mile. And I know you'll tell me I shouldn't be sitting in the left lane, but I'm catching up to the car in front of me, and this car is not going anywhere. That jumped in the right and passed me. And there's a cop car up there on the left in the other oncoming lane. Anyway, I'll kick FSD on here in just a second. I just started out, and as usual, first thing in the morning, I like to drive a little bit, get used to the car, and then kick FSD on and let it take us there. So I've been to all these chargers before. If you've watched my other videos, you've seen these EVgo chargers at Pilot Flying J. But yeah, it looks like there's an issue with the one in Pearl. I have a bailout option at the Tesla Supercharger. Don't know how long we'll be at the first one, but we'll see. We can always skip it if we're feeling good and think we can make it another couple hours. We'll see what happens, and I will keep you updated here as we go. Should be a fun one today. Thanks for following along. Okay, so we are going to try to make it to this first charger in Pearl. We'll see how that goes. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes, 183 miles to go. We've been driving for 30 minutes, 34 miles, and 291 watt-hours per mile. That will improve now as we're kind of settling in and just cruising along. So 84% left on the battery. By the way, it's 62 degrees out this morning, a little bit chilly. 7:57 a.m. So glad to be on the road and knocking out some miles. Follow along for more information. Of course, we are running FSD. It is driving me, and that's the plan for today. So I'll be back with you here with an update very, very shortly. So I decided to make a quick stop here at McDonald's, and this is probably the slowest McDonald's I've ever been to. Arcadia, Louisiana. We've been sitting here probably a good 10 minutes. Moved 2 cars, and the drive-thru is full. The problem is I could bail, but I've already placed my order on the app, so yeah, it's just super, super slow. When I pulled in, the line was not far from the drive-thru line, but now it's all the way out to the road, and they're just very, very, very slow, which is highly unusual. But hey, it is what it is. I'm going to sit here and wait. That will delay us some. We're about 2.5 hours from the next stop. Should arrive with around 15%. Been running at highway speeds, 292 watt hours per mile. 50 miles, 52 minutes. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. It is 8:20 now. I'll let you know when we get back on the road. So roughly 10 more minutes, and we're almost to the pickup area. Slowest McDonald's experience ever. Lost about 20 minutes at this one. Absolutely ridiculous. Don't understand it. I mean, they answered the speaker kind of immediately, took my code, said, yep, just pull up, and I don't know, just super, super slow. Anyway, it is what it is. We will be back on the road shortly. Should arrive to the next charger around 11 now. Again, this has certainly slowed us down for today, but tough when you get, I couldn't back up. I couldn't leave the line. There was a truck there unloading. I really didn't have an option. And then once you've already sat for 10 or so minutes, what do you do? So it is what it is. That's part of our road tripping. We'll see how it goes. I'll be back on the highway here shortly. Okay, we are riding along. And there's a road cleanup crew. Looks like they've got inmates cleaning up trash along the roadways, so probably a good program to get some out and helps us out. Anyway, been driving for an hour and 48 minutes. Now remember, 30 minutes of that was sitting at that McDonald's. What a disaster. But everything happens for a reason. Maybe it helped me avoid something else that was going to happen. So we dealt with it and back on the road. Got an hour and 50 minutes left to go to Pearl. 123 miles. So just cruising along. I will keep you updated here as we go. 69 degrees out, 9:16 a.m. 647 miles on the halo back covers, 265 watt hours per mile. And yeah, 287, 288 watt hours per mile so far today. Again, not getting super impressive efficiency, but we've been running at highway speeds. This is actually a slow section right now, but for the most part, we have been ripping along. So let's see what happens, and I'll update you here in a little while. Okay, we are still riding along. 74 degrees out now, warmed up a bit. 10:07 a.m. Made up a little bit of time. Going to arrive around 11 with around 11%. So 2 hours and 40 minutes, 160 miles. Again, 30 minutes at that McDonald's, 288 watt hours per mile. Overall, on the wheel covers, we are seeing higher consumption than the lifetime of the car, but keep in mind, this isn't a complete trip. So by the time I bring this vehicle back next month from Virginia, now remember, I'm going to Roanoke, Virginia. I'm going to leave this up there for a few weeks. I'll bring it back in a few weeks. When I get back to Texas, we'll see if those halo back covers are helping or not. I've heard quite a few people tell me 8 to 10% better efficiency. I'm not seeing it yet, but this is a very inefficient stretch. Normally my consumption is much higher than even this, So I'm optimistic. 10,230 miles on this Model Y Juniper, 262 watt-hours per mile. Absolutely love this car. We're at 33% on the battery now, and yeah, just 53 minutes, 56 miles to that Pilot Flying J in Pearl, Mississippi. So I will keep you updated. It's a beautiful driving day once again. Glad to have it, and be back with you here shortly. So we're almost into Mississippi, and I'm not sure what's going on up here, but we got something on fire. It's at a way station. Let's get over in the left lane. Looks like a brush fire. Sure is. Could have been flares. I think it might have been flares. Maybe a truck was off to the side there, or something happened, but those look like road flares to me. So not a brush fire. I take that back. Anyway, 288 watt-hours per mile. Just been driving a few more minutes. 2 hours and 46 minutes. 169 miles. So looking forward to getting there. Just under 50 miles. And like I said, we're getting ready to cross the Mississippi River here shortly. And we will be passing through Vicksburg, Mississippi, and on to Pearl. So I will be back with you here shortly. Okay, here is the bridge crossing into Mississippi. There's the Mississippi Welcome Center. Stopped here many times and charged at the Tesla Supercharger at the Ameristar Vicksburg. It's a little riverboat. And you'll see the really cool looking bridge here. They got a nice American flag on the railroad bridge. There might be a welcome to Mississippi sign. We'll see. But this is the Mississippi River. The Ameristar is right over there. On the left is the riverboat. And the hotel right beside it. You can probably see that over there. Mississippi Welcome Center. And speed has decreased. Let's pop it into chill mode for a minute. Let it scale itself back. I found just by changing the driver profiles, by clicking down on the scroll wheel, or scrolling down on it, I should say, it will adjust the speed back and make it a little more conservative. Some rough roads through this section for sure. I remember that. And guess what? We are officially in Mississippi. Okay. Be back with you shortly as we get to the first charger. But before we do that, I am going to show you the Welcome to Mississippi sign here on the right. It wasn't on the bridge, but it is right there. The birthplace of America's music. Okay. Be back with you here shortly. So we have gone through multiple construction zones, tons of traffic, pretty delayed here in that first leg, of course, added to that with that 30-minute stop. But all in all, we're doing just fine. We've gained a few more minutes, showing arriving at 10:58 a.m., riding along at highway speeds. This is actually a smoother section of road, and 285 watt-hours per mile, so not too bad at these highway speeds. 196 miles so far. 21 miles to go, arriving with around 11%. And so that will have been about 215 miles on this leg with 11% left, meaning I would get roughly 250 miles on a full tank running at these highway speeds. Speed kills efficiency, so if you just want to run it like 70 miles an hour, 65 miles an hour, you'll get an extra 30, 40, 50 miles of range out of the vehicle. And way better efficiency. So just keep that in mind. The weather's decent. Nice, clear, beautiful day. 74 degrees out now. It has warmed up a little, but it is chilly. It is cold this time of year. So yeah, doing well. 19% FSD is doing a good job overall handling the construction zones, driving me along. Here's my view from the car. as I ride along. So this is kind of what I see. And yeah, it's fantastic. Anyway, let me know what you think. Love your feedback. I'll be back with you here in just a little bit with another trip update. So one thing to note, by the way, 285 watt-hours per mile, 207 miles. One thing to note, I'm only 10 miles out. It's not started preconditioning at all for fast charging. Now, I did go ahead and plug in the Tesla supercharger that's right nearby, not only as a bailout option, but then that'll force precondition to it in case it wouldn't precondition to this third-party DC fast charger. But yeah, no messages at all about preconditioning. Maybe it doesn't need it. You know, I have been driving for hours, but batteries typically don't heat up from driving. The motors do, but the batteries really don't, other than just through the HVAC system running. But that full preconditioning, getting it to the optimum temperature for DC fast charging, typically has to happen with the route planner. Some vehicles you can turn on manual preconditioning. Unfortunately, in our Tesla and our Rivian, you simply can't do that. So, roughly 10 minutes out, like I said, we'll kind of see how it goes here. It does want me to get off an exit or so early, ride along Route 80 for about a mile into the Pilot Flying J. I've done this before, and I think it's pretty congested off that exit, so it does make sense to follow its instructions. So that's what we're going to do, and hopefully we can get plugged in. It looks like one of the two DC fast chargers is down. I'm hoping the other one shows availability. It did when I checked it a few minutes ago. We'll kind of see what happens, but hey, looking forward to getting there, getting plugged in, juicing up, and then we'll figure out the next stop afterwards. Once I get there, got to use the facilities, get rid of some trash, try to use a squeegee and a window cleaner, get the windshield cleaned off, and then we'll kind of see what happens. I'll probably look for the next EVgo charger along the route, and or another Tesla supercharger. So we'll see what happens, and I will update you here in just a little bit. So it is now preconditioning, but just 5 minutes out, so it must not have needed much. I mean, the car is very intelligent and knows what it needs to do. Showing arriving at 12%. I'm at 12% currently, only 2.5 miles out, and yeah, it avoided a major traffic jam, which would have added 5 or 10 minutes by getting off this exit. So very good job, Tesla route planner, and really, really glad it did that. And it looks like we've got to go left up here in order to go right. Pretty interesting, because we're getting on 80 East, following this truck. Just a few minutes out now. That's a scrapyard hauler. Looks like he's got some cars up in there getting ready for destruction. And we're sitting at the red light. So let's talk about this last leg, 216.4 miles. Till I get there, 218 miles, 282 watt-hours per mile. Again, I'm pretty happy with that overall at those highway speeds. That's pretty impressive, and not bad at all. Still preconditioning. Got to turn right here in about 1.5 miles, and we'll be at the Pilot Flying J. Unfortunately, we're going to stop here in order to merge on. FSD really has done a pretty good job this morning. I've had to take this route before to get to this charger. Let's just hope it's available, and I can get plugged in, and we'll see what that looks like here. about 3/4 of a mile left. And I think it's making the right decision jumping in that right lane, although it just hesitated. And now it's decided to do it, so good job, FSD. You notice right away down to 282 watt-hours per mile. It just rapidly improves here as I get off the highway and ride these kind of state routes and business roads. Much better efficiency. Again, this is right off of an exit off of I-20. As you can see, I-20 is right over here, but this was faster because of that major traffic jam. So again, really good job to the Tesla route planner. The Tesla supercharger's right across the street at the outlet mall. Charged there many times, but hopefully we can get plugged in right here at the EVgo. Really been some rough roads this morning. Both chargers do show available. Let's see what FSD does to get around this trailer. And it's figured it out. Check that out. Unbelievable good. And right over there's the chargers. Both of them are open. See what FSD does. Works its way right through here. Really quite impressive. All right, let me take over and see. One of the two chargers showed down. I think it's that one. Yeah, because I see a blue light at the top of this one. Let's get backed in here, get plugged in, and get juiced up. Once again, I'm going to use my CCS adapter. Boy, another terrible backing job. Just pull up a bit so I can get that back door open to let the doggos out. Okay. I'm gonna grab this CCS adapter, get plugged in, and I'll show you what that looks like. There's the total stats, 218 miles, 282 watt-hours per mile. Okay, payment was authorized, connecting the vehicle. Take a look at this EV base CCS adapter. Absolutely phenomenal. We're here at this Flying J truck stop. It's got a Denny's, and that charger's down, unfortunately, but connecting the vehicle, checking cable safety. And by the way, you'll see the light goes green up here. That light's out, meaning that charger's just completely off, and we are charging. Ramping up very quickly. I like how quickly these spool up. Perfect, up to 192 kilowatts. Now remember, this car can charge at 250, but because these aren't as high amperage as Tesla chargers, the most you see is around 200 or so on these EVgo chargers, just based on the amps. And if you don't understand that, you can look it up, but that's my best explanation. These are 800 volt, lower amperage than Tesla superchargers, but for a high voltage car that takes 800 volt, this thing will charge way faster. And we're pulling 197. Been here just under a minute. I like to check the 1 minute mark, and we've taken on a couple kilowatt hours of energy already, and up to 198. Let's just watch it for another second. And 3 kilowatt hours of energy in 1 minute. Okay, I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, here we are. You can get a good view of the Model Y Juniper here charging, as well as the fancy wheel covers. Great looking vehicle. And by the way, that EV base in the front here, this is a really nice feature. This mesh, it protects the radiator. Really nice. Anyway, I'll be right back with you here in a second. Okay, so I've been here 11 and a half minutes, taking on 31 kilowatt hours of energy. We're up to 50%, still charging at 110 kilowatts. And I'm gonna get in there now. There's another EVgo in Meridian and then another one in McCalla, Alabama. I'm gonna take a look and see what makes sense next, but more than likely the Meridian, Mississippi here. And I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, so I've used the Tesla route planner, and what I did is I plugged in a stop in Meridian, then a stop in McCalla, then the hotel. Now, it's automatically put in the Tesla superchargers because it doesn't know I'm going to fill up at these two. But what's cool is they're both after the EVgo, so they're good bailout options. And if I get charged at EVgo, great. I mean, so basically I'm juiced up enough now to go, but we're not ready. So the car once again is faster than I am. We've been here maybe 14 minutes. Still pulling 94 kilowatts. Honestly, not great at 57%, but that's the Tesla charging curve. Be 40 minutes to fill up. We're not going to fill up. We're going to go ahead and juice up. My wife went in to take care of some business, and when she gets back to the car, we'll take off. The doggos are buckled up and ready to go. There they are. And let's see. We are at 10,288 miles on the car, 771 miles on the halo back covers. I like the look of those, though. Don't they look great? That mesh cover I was showing you from EV Base in the front really protects the radiator from bugs, dirt, grime, leaves, paper, whatever, and it pulls out and cleans off very, very easily. I highly recommend that. That's a really cool added feature. Anyway, I mentioned throughout the video, I really like EV-based products, and using my code BYTESLA, you'll get some good discounts. So anyway, that's the plan at this point. I checked this first one. I didn't check McCalla, but I checked the first one. It showed all 4 stations are operational. 1 car was there charging currently. This station's been empty the whole time. Again, one of the 2 chargers is down, but no big deal. I'm going to finish juicing up, and then we're going to hit the road. I'll keep you posted. At 60%, pulling 89 kilowatts. Again, it just charges so quickly, it's not that big of a deal. But I wish it had a better charging curve for sure. Pulling in with 11%, getting up to 60% in about 15 minutes. Hopefully that helps as you learn to road trip in your Tesla, or if you're just following along. Okay, I'll be back with you shortly. By the way, it's showing I'll hit the hotel at 5:30 again. I've got to adjust for time zone. I don't think it does, at least it never has traditionally. So we still have a ways to go, 369 miles. The good news is we're 218 miles into it, so almost a 600-mile day today. It's saying 4 more stops. Of course, I'm cutting 2 of those out, and so I'll probably make a stop right before the hotel. The hotel's supposed to have charging, but I'll probably throw some juice on, and we'll need to stop anyway. So let's see what happens. Let's get on the road and get rolling here in just a moment. I'm going to get a cold drink out of that refrigerator there in the rear compartment now before we take off. Okay, we are just now ready to go. The car's been ready. We've been here 25 minutes, 49 kilowatt hours of energy, only charging at 58 kilowatts. The typical Tesla charging curve. Let's hit stop charge, get unplugged. We're at 74%, and get back on the road. I'll be back with you shortly. All right, I am riding along. Next stop, Meridian, Mississippi, to the EVgo. Right now, all 4 stalls are showing available. I have been on the phone almost the entire ride so far. 53 minutes, 64 miles, 280 watt-hours per mile. We're starting to see better efficiency now as we're getting further east. And I was going to say the roads have gotten better, but just hit a rough section while I was talking. 77 degrees out, 12:21 p.m., 49% on the battery. Going to arrive with around 39% in 23 minutes. I've got to jump on a work call. I may not be able to catch a video clip while I'm plugging in, but the call should be over, and I should be able to show you the charger after I get there. I've got to jump on that call in about 5 minutes, so I'll do the best I can. If I miss it, I'll update you on how much I charged, how long, and how many kilowatt hours of energy we put in. But I'll certainly try to catch that charging stop as best I can. That being said, it's been a smooth ride. FSD's done a good job. It does swerve around and avoid stuff on the highways. kind of catches me off guard because it never used to do that. It is good, but you got to be aware of that. That's been a little disconcerting at times. I do believe the next release, the next version, will be better. Now, with that being said, yeah, I just jumped over. I've seen, I'm going to say 15 police cars today along Interstate 20. It has been absolutely crazy. And here's another one up here. I am going to show you my energy consumption. We're at 65 miles, 279 watt hours per mile. And I mentioned that a minute ago, but look at the halo back covers. 268 right now. A little higher than the lifetime of the car, but I've run through the most inefficient stretch. So I am expecting better results here as we go. I have about 837 miles on those new covers. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it's been good. I'm anxious to see the next version. I have that next version on the Cybertruck, so if you watch for my return trip video, it'll be posted about a week from this video. You'll see the Tesla Cybertruck driving on FSD from the Roanoke, Virginia area back to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So that'll be interesting. Looking forward to that. As far as an all-around everyday car, though, around town, road tripping a couple times a year, this Model Y is about as good as it gets, and the self-driving is an absolute game changer, I think, for anyone. So if you haven't, check it out. You can do demo drives and check out full self-driving in nearly any city USA currently. Really, really impressive stuff. So, okay, I'll be back with you when I can. Thank you for following along. So I'll just show you real quickly here. I did get plugged in just a minute ago. I've got to answer this call, but we're charging at 133 kilowatts at 45%. Okay, so here I am. I've been charging for probably 20 minutes. I'm probably up to 80% or something, but here's the chargers. Here is the stop in Meridian. Let me get to the screen and kind of show you where we're at. Got a nice looking Volvo there charging. Oh, it disconnected, so let me get plugged back in here. I'll be right back with you. So it's got this Tesla glitch right now that's been happening with EVgo. When the car's locked and you walk up to the charger, it'll actually stop charging. And that's what happened. It actually stopped as I walked up to it. So there it just stopped again. Wow. Let me hit unlock. And let me get plugged back in and we'll try it again. Okay, so what I had to do was go on the EVgo app and activate this charger. It stopped when I walked back to it, but I don't think I was giving it enough time. You gotta wait about 10 seconds, and I just kept plugging back in right away. So I tried something different this time. What I did is, went in the EVgo app, activated the right side of charger 13382, and now it's charging. But these are the types of glitches you can get into using these third-party DC fast chargers. But we're not done yet. My wife's in there using the facilities and grabbing a sandwich because it's lunchtime. And I went ahead and got plugged back in. So, hey, might as well charge. But that was a couple minutes wasted figuring it out. But, hey, we're charging again. So that's good. I'll be back with you. Sorry, this has been a bit of a rush stop, but I'll be back with you shortly. Well, definitely one of the longest charging sessions of the day. We're up to 90%, 34 kilowatts, which is pretty pathetic. But we're going to go ahead and get this thing unplugged and get back on the road. And I will report back to you shortly. It went white, meaning I can unplug. I'll be back momentarily. Okay, and here's another state. Sweet Home, Alabama. The governor's KIV, according to the sign. That's interesting. Anyway, we are, let me slow the speed down just a little bit here at the state line. We are 310 watt hours per mile. Been making a pretty good time running at highway speeds. 18 minutes, 21 and a half miles. 6.6 kilowatt hours of energy used up. Remember, we just DC fast charge, so it's going to be high consumption starting out. Now, overall, 680 miles on the halo back covers, 268 watt hours per mile. Pretty good overall. We're headed to the next EVgo charger. It is in Lincoln, Alabama, off Honda Drive, 17% state of charge upon arrival. just over 2 hours to get there, 163 miles, plus what I've already driven. Hey, deep charging, that allows me to stop later. We'll save some time, and I can make it through Birmingham before stopping. So that way we avoid any, hopefully, Birmingham Friday evening rush hour traffic. Getting through Birmingham quicker is better. So that's why I chose that stop. I want to get on the other side of Birmingham, and then we'll be stopping on the west side of Atlanta. Very, very rough road here. We're going to switch to the left lane. Look at how bad that roadway is on the right lane. Now it's cleared up here. Anyway, so far, yeah, this has been a great experience. Car driving us, charged quickly all day, faster than we've been at every stop. Getting there at proper 17% for the next one, so pleased with that. There are Tesla charger bailout options before and after if I need to, but right now that charger is showing just fine, so we'll look at it again as we get closer. But let's head that way. Just riding along I-20 here. It's almost 80 degrees out, 78 degrees, 1:44 p.m. Having a great road trip so far today. Yeah, so we're starting to see a little better efficiency. 281 watt-hours per mile as we're getting further east here. As I expected, even at highway speeds. 78 degrees out, 221. I've been driving for about 70 miles, 57 minutes. And you'll see, going to arrive with around 16% on the battery. And let's take a look. In an hour and 38 minutes, 115 miles away. So, yeah, so far it's been going well. FSD has gotten so much better. It is avoiding major potholes, objects on the road. It's done very, very well. Very few interventions, if any, on my part. It can pretty much drive you across the country if that's really what you wanted to do. Halo back wheel covers, again, efficiency is worse than prior, but it's an unfair comparison because this is a high-speed highway trip, and until we do the return trip back, then we'll get a good feel for it. So I'm going to give it a couple thousand miles and see if they really are better, worse, or whatever. Again, I'm hearing they're much better. I like the looks of them. We'll see what happens. Overall thoughts, the Model Y Juniper is a very comfortable, very nice car. To be candid though, the Cybertruck's much more comfortable, smoother riding. I don't know which one's quieter. I'd say the noise level is similar in both. But the Mercedes EQS by far is a much, much more comfortable vehicle. Much quieter, much smoother. Just a very, very, in my opinion, much more well-built vehicle overall. So 62% left on the battery. Let's take a look. 194 miles. And let's check our tire pressure. Looking good. 46 psi all around. About 4 pounds over with the running heat that's in them. So yeah, doing well. Okay, I'll check back with you here in just a little bit. This is pretty much the view as you go across I-20, by the way. Flat, easy, and just wide open. There's Knoxville, Alabama. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, it's such a vast country as you drive across the U.S. You know, I've driven a lot of miles so far today, and most of it's been just like this. A lot of cars and trucks. A lot of truck traffic hauling goods all over the country. Just massive truck traffic. And just cars, but not a lot of cities, not a lot of population throughout. Just kind of crazy. Anyway, I'll be back with you here in a little bit for another update. Look at that view. Just wide open. Continues to be a beautiful day. Overall good road tripping day. 102 miles into this leg, an hour and 22 minutes, 280 watt hours per mile essentially, and 2:47 p.m. Got 1 hour and 12 minutes to go, 82 miles to the next charger. Should arrive with around 17%. Car's doing great. We're at 50% on the battery now. And this is kind of a bypass around Birmingham, Alabama. That's why it wants us to jump on that 459. It kind of goes around the bottom of Birmingham, and then we'll jump back on 20, and we'll be charging just east of Birmingham, Alabama, which hopefully, again, we get through Birmingham before we hit any major traffic. That's the goal. So far, we're on track to do that, and we'll keep rolling on. I'll update you here shortly. Okay, we are officially going around the south side of Birmingham right now on this bypass on 459, and driven 138 miles, 275 watt-hours per mile. You'll see that's drastically improving the further east we go. 77 degrees out, 3:14 p.m. I got 37% on the battery. It has been improving efficiency, so it's saying I'm going to get there now with 18% in about 42 minutes. So almost to the next charger, getting there a little before 4 p.m. We're going to get there, juice up, and then figure out if I need to make a final charging stop or if we're going to go all the way to the hotel after this stop. So we'll kind of play that out. They're supposed to be charging at the hotel, and I'll just check to see if there's nearby charging in case that wouldn't work for some reason, and we may just make this the final stop. So we'll see what happens, and I will update you here as we get closer. All in all, it's going well. FSD's doing a good job and has been really, really nice on this long road trip to let the car drive me. What a game changer when you're driving cross country. You know, local trips to me, 5-6 hours, simple local stuff. I don't mind manually driving the whole thing, like going to Tulsa from Dallas or whatever. But when you're going cross country like this thing is just shifting lanes, driving through traffic, doing all the hard work, all the heavy lifting, and I'm just supervising the car. So really, really good stuff. Anyway, I'll be back here in a little bit with another update. Okay, so 25 miles left, 270 watt-hours per mile for the last 2 hours. See, it's getting better as we keep navigating east. Like I said, it would. We were just in a very inefficient section with crosswinds, rough roads, etc. So now we're going to start seeing better performance overall. And going to arrive, it shows, with 20%. And again, that's because it's just gotten better performance as we've driven. That's interesting. It was going to switch lanes and decided not to. I was just kind of watching that behavior. Anyway, FSD's done phenomenally well. 3:33 p.m., 75 degrees out, and I am thoroughly enjoying the drive. Got 22 minutes, 24 miles, and on the halo back wheel covers, 1,020 miles. And you'll see just a few watt-hours per mile higher than the lifetime on the vehicle. Keep in mind, nearly all the miles on these halo back wheel covers have been high-speed internet driving, or high-speed interstate driving. Yeah, internet driving, that's funny. So we made it past Birmingham. I'm very, very pleased to say that. Arriving now at 3:56. Pretty light traffic. It was backed up a little getting on 20 off 459. That's normally backed way up. I think we timed it just right, you know, getting through there at 3:30 p.m. on a Friday versus 4 or 5 o'clock. Significant difference, and very, very helpful. So we'll keep riding. I'll update you here as we get close and get off the exit for this EVgo Pilot Flying J. It's another one, and so far you've seen this entire trip, all the miles I've driven, we've only spent $20 in charging, and that was just because I used the convenient hotel charging. Why did I do that? I didn't have to. Because it saved time, and I had a full charge starting out this morning, which allowed me actually to skip a stop, and got pretty far on that first charge. That's really why. It's a nice looking new Vet. Beautiful car. Anyway, thanks for following along. I'll be back with you shortly. This has been a great road trip, and I'm glad you're riding along with me. Okay, so we are now about 12 minutes out, and it just popped up preconditioning battery for fast charging. It's going to get those cells to the optimum temperature so I can accept maximum charging speed. Arriving with right at 20%, should push right up around 200 kilowatts, as you saw at the maybe not the last one, but the one before that. I have finished up the conference calls for the most part today. It's now almost 5 o'clock Eastern, so still wrapping up a few messages that are coming in, but FSD and the Tesla systems helping me do that. 270 watt-hours per mile for the last 174 miles. Pretty darn good. Now, keep in mind, I charge to 90%, so running, 200 miles, charging to 90%, normally you're not going to do that. I normally never, ever charge that deep on a road trip. I just had conference calls. We had things to do. It was always be charging, so rather than sit there and not charge, I wanted to just keep juicing up. So plan. By the way, this EV-Base CCS adapter is amazing. It's doing a great job. So shout out to EV-Base for that. And yeah, it's still pleasant. A little bit chilly, but 74 degrees out. 3:44 p.m. and almost there. Just 10 more miles. Getting off here in Lincoln, Alabama. I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, so here we are, just getting off the exit in less than a mile, and 21% on the battery, still preconditioning, arriving with 20%. We just flipped over. 267 watt-hours per mile for the last 165 miles, so pretty good stretch, decently efficient for highway driving. And you can see we're going to get off the exit and just cross over the highway. I am manually driving. We were in a very, very rough section of road, and I just took over and slowed down. And now we're jumping off the exit here to juice up. Pilot station's right over there. Wow, this exit's really, really backed up. There we go, he's getting out there now, so good job, truck. I think they're gonna let me out too, but either way, wow, don't know what that was. Crazy. Anyway, we're about to pull in this pilot station up here. There was an almost accident. And we're going to turn in right here, and it looks like the chargers are backed right against the hill. So pretty easy. We're just going to get backed right in, get plugged in, and get juicing up. I'll be right back with you once I get it plugged in. We'll take a look and see how fast we're charging. Okay, we just got plugged in and immediately popped up payment authorized because we've got Auto Charge Plus with GM Energy, EV Go, Pilot Flying J, 350 kilowatt charger. We're here at this Pilot, like I said, in Lincoln, Alabama. Nice station, actually, nice and clean. And let's take a look and see what kind of speeds we get. It should be ramping up in just a second. And we are charging. We're going to just watch the first minute. right up to 198 kilowatts. I love how quickly these things spool up. For the most part, they're usually very, very good. So I should put in a few kilowatt hours very, very quickly. And that's about the max that I've seen on these. 200 kilowatts, there you go. Now again, a V3 Tesla supercharger, we could pull 250, but it doesn't hold it long. And again, I've got free energy here for right now, 201 kilowatts. 202. Already up to 23%, just that quick in less than a minute. And let's watch. We should be right at 3 kilowatts. Bam, 3 kilowatts. Great job, EVgo. Okay, I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, so we've been here roughly 10 minutes. Already juiced up to 56%. Still not ready to go. My wife just went inside to take care of some business at the travel center, and still pulling 95 kilowatts at 56%. Again, not great charging, but the car's so efficient that it's fast enough, to be honest. For mass adoption, it needs to be a lot faster, and that technology's out there, and Tesla needs to adopt it or come up with it or whatever. Anyway, if I leave right now, I can get to the hotel with 20%. So till we leave, I'll have plenty to get to the hotel. I want to look around the hotel and make sure there is charging at destination. Yep, there's a supercharger not far away. Very close, just an exit or so down, and that's a 325. That's one of the newer ones. So we've got that option, and yeah, there's charging at the hotel. So I'm gonna say we hit the road, and if I have to run down to the supercharger or something, I will. I can also look on PlugShare or ChargeWay. I'll look for Electrify America, EVgo, any other chargers as a bailout option. It's right near the hotel. So I'm going to do that now, but we're going to hit the road here shortly. We've got about an hour and 20 minutes to go. Almost there. Looking forward to it. It's been a long day. Nearly 600 miles in the Tesla today with a few charging stops. Pretty uneventful, smooth, and went well overall. Other than at the last stop, it had that glitch where I've experienced that in the Cybertruck. When you walk up to the vehicle, and it unlocks, it'll stop charging. It's really strange. I haven't figured out the pattern to it, but it happened on my last Cybertruck road trip with the latest Tesla software, and now it's happening in the Model Y as well. So it's some glitch between EVgo, Tesla, whatever, and that's been happening. So I unplug, replug. I had to do that a few times. Ended up losing about a minute or two of charging. No big deal. But here we're juicing up just fine. Still chugging along at 88 kilowatts at 60%. Gonna arrive now with 23%. So you can see it's still filling up pretty quickly. I'm gonna hit the road in just a minute. Keep in mind, everybody that says, well, these things take too long to charge, just plug in at home just like you do your cell phone. Your car's full of fuel every day. This is just for cross-country road trips, and we have to stop every couple hours anyway. So not a big deal for us. And there are longer range vehicles out there for sure. This one suits us very, very well. Anyway, let me check out the charging options at destination, and I'll be back here in a bit. Okay, everybody's in the car, buckled up. Time to get unplugged. We way overcharged. Let's see if we can see it. 21 minutes, 40 kilowatt hours, still charging at 63 kilowatts, up to 73%. Time to get unplugged and get on the road. I'll be back with you here in a minute. Okay, we are back on the road. Again, 72% in the battery. Been driving just for about a minute. Got out of there, got back on the highway. Got 91 miles to exit, an hour and 19 minutes, and should arrive around 5:40 p.m. Now, time zone will shift to Eastern time. I think we're still on Central, so that will definitely set us back a little bit on time, but it's all relative. It's fine. Anyway, we'll be there shortly. Should be a quick little hop. It has gotten cold. It's 71 degrees out, 4:21 p.m. So I got my coat out of the back and ready for this final leg to the hotel for today. That's the stop for today. Tomorrow we'll be staying near Charlotte, North Carolina, and then up to Roanoke, Virginia. So I've got stuff to take care of in the Atlanta area, stuff to take care of in Charlotte, and then stuff to take care of in Roanoke, Virginia. So that'll keep me busy for the next several days. I know you can see it just keeps getting chillier, 70 degrees out now. Let's go ahead and kick the speed up a notch, and then we'll just dial back to standard, and let's ride. You can see the leaves have definitely changed color through here, and a lot of the trees don't have leaves on them, so it is that time of the year for sure. Okay, I'll be back shortly. So it is starting to get dark out, and you can see the screen flipped automatically to dark mode. Pretty nice how it shows the Tesla chargers off the exit there. Anyway, so we are just riding along. Got to get off exit 44 for the hotel in about 1 hour. And so far been driving 22 miles, 17 minutes. Traffic's been pretty wide open. 317 watt hours per mile. Again, just came off of a DC fast charging session, so that always sucks up a little extra juice at first when you first start out. But let me jump back over to the left lane. There's a lot of traffic jumping on the interstate. Anyway, 4:37 p.m. We're soon going to hit the Eastern time zone, so that'll flip forward an hour. And you can tell up here it's already darker at 4:30. Anyway, been a good trip so far today. I appreciate you following along, and I'll be back with a update here as we get closer to the hotel. Okay, so we are plugging along. By the way, take a look at the sky. Really, really cool. The deeper blues down below fading up into pink. Really, really neat looking in person, and I don't know how well it comes through the camera, but I think you can see some of it. Anyway, we're at 58% on the battery. Should arrive around 36% in 50 minutes, so just under an hour. Showing an arrival time at 5:38 p.m. Again, that'll be 6:38 p.m. And total about 10 hours today. So charging and all that definitely added some time, and we stopped a little longer a couple of times. I had calls, whatever. And then that McDonald's drive-thru added a half an hour as well. So should have been probably closer to 9 hours. We definitely extended it. Anyway, 308 watt hours per mile, 38 miles, and 30 minutes so far. So making good progress. Hope it continues. We'll be there very shortly. It is getting cold out, 64 degrees now, and definitely cooling down as night falls on us here, as we're about to get to Georgia. Let's see where we're at right now. Yeah, we're at exit 205 in Alabama, and so we're roughly 5 miles from the Georgia line, Georgia-Alabama line. So I will keep you updated. Looking forward to getting to the hotel. This has been a long one today. Looks kind of like a spaceship in here with the ambient lighting, the screen, all of the tech, the vehicle driving us, the matrix headlights. Really, really cool. Anyway, we are in Georgia. We're 37 miles from the exit now. About 35 minutes to go. Almost there. Haven't quite flipped to the Eastern time zone yet. That'll be happening any minute now. And so far on this drive, 55 miles, 43 minutes, 298 watt hours per mile. 1,100 miles on the Halo Black wheel covers, 269 watt hours per mile. Not too bad. That's pretty efficient for a vehicle that runs, all highway. And keep in mind, almost all those miles are all highway at this point. So I'm not sure why it jumped in the right lane, other than the car behind us was following pretty closely. So we'll see what it does here. Yeah, it was just letting that truck by because that truck was tailgating pretty hard. Anyway, 5:04 p.m. It has gotten cold. It's 62 degrees, so it'll be dropping into the 50s here soon. I'm going to dial the speed back just a notch here. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, look at that. It's down to 61 now. Anyway, thanks for following along today. It's been good. And we are almost there, and I'll give you a final update on this leg of the trip. These matrix headlights are amazing. You'll see it's showing that high beams are on. They are as needed, so it won't blind the cars in front of me, won't blind, but watch these signs light up. See, as the headlights can broadcast out to the left and right, up and down, without affecting the cars in front of you. So it's actually using high beams right near us, but then further out, it's fading them out. It's absolutely incredible. Love the matrix headlights. Rivian has that now too, I think, in the Gen 2s. I'm not sure about the Gen 1s, but yeah, pretty cool stuff. We're 20 miles out from the exit, making pretty good time. Traffic's picked up. We're going right around the speed limit, and now it opens up as we get closer to Atlanta to 3 lanes, so we'll be able to gain a little bit of speed up through here. But yeah, the headlights are remarkably good. They're just laser focused, literally, to light up the area right in front of you to make it like daylight. And I don't know if you can see, but it's super bright out there. Really, really great in the Model Y Juniper. Nice safety feature and just great for visibility. Going to arrive with about 37% on the battery. ETA still showing around 537. Just 20 minutes, 20 miles out. So fingers crossed for uneventful remaining 20 miles. And we've been driving for 58 minutes, 73 miles, 286 watt-hours per mile. So that has leveled out as well. It is 63 degrees out. Thank goodness it didn't get any colder. And it's 5:18 p.m., so almost there. I'll be back with you shortly here as we get to the hotel. Just got off the exit and something kind of unusual happened. The wipers kicked on, it sprayed some fluid, and it only wiped right here, right in this area. It cleaned the camera. I've never seen it do that before. That's new programming or something, and I probably saw something on it and don't remember, but that was just neat. I've never seen that happen, so pretty good job with that, Tesla. Anyway, we're off the exit and just waiting now for this light. You can see it's all in red. It's backed up. And we got a truck up here turning, so it'll take a few minutes, but let's go ahead and do our final information here. 93 miles, 269 watt-hours per mile, basically 270. 25 kilowatt-hours of energy used, an hour and 14 minutes. 10 hours of driving today, 11 hours on the clock because of the time zone change. 1,137 miles on the Halo Black wheel covers with 267 watt-hours per mile. Again, all highway miles. We'll see how this improves here as we keep driving. And I'm anxious on this return trip from Roanoke, Virginia in a few weeks back to Dallas-Fort Worth, and then driving it around Roanoke some. I'm anxious to see if I can actually get improved efficiency with these covers. I would have thought they would, and most people have told me they do. Again, I like the look of them. I think they're great, very well-designed covers. But it remains to be seen how truly efficient they are. So it looks like only a couple cars went. FSD is going out around everybody. Wow, that was really good. Very human-like, and it just followed that car. And now it's got to merge out onto the highway. The car behind me impatiently blowing their horn. And the reason why is because there is a merge lane here. And that car didn't understand it and didn't use it. So we can literally just go and merge right out. Well, FSD did its thing. And we're going to stop for this light. One last red light. And then we turn left up here on Interstate West Parkway. And we are there for the day. So that kind of ends the stats on the trip. There you see the final stats for the day. And we'll be starting out again tomorrow, headed to Charlotte, North Carolina. That's a much shorter trip than today, and compared to today, should be pretty easy. Anyway, thanks for following along. I'll try to give you an update from the hotel charger if I get a chance, either tonight or in the morning. And I plan to get this topped up if I'm able to. Okay, so here it is at night. We just went to get something to eat and came back, plugged it in, and it's a charge and stay charger. Doesn't show the cost on here. I'll check the app. I had to download the app in order to get it to start charging. But my guess is it's around 40 to 45 cents a kilowatt hour. But guess what? I'll be up to 100% by the morning. So I'm glad we have it. Good job, Hilton. Anyway, this is the Hilton Garden Inn we're staying at. And I will update you in the AM as we get ready to head towards Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay, just leaving the Homewood here. And in Atlanta, West Lithia Springs, West Atlanta. Anyway, 9:07 a.m., 52 degrees out, pretty cold. 313 miles on the battery. It just finished charging to 100%. And 271 miles to go, 4 hours. So let's hit the road. We're going to get through Atlanta, probably make a stop at a Pilot Flying J, and kind of go from there. So I'll keep you updated. Let's take a look at the trip this morning. 1,140 miles starting out on the Halo back covers. 267 watt hours per mile, 10,657 miles total, 263 watt hours per mile. Be back with you shortly. So pretty interesting, based on the efficiency here in these areas, 271 miles, no problem. I could make it there with 14%. It actually said 17%. I had to stop at the Pilot Flying J charger in Carnesville, Georgia, which is about an hour and a half away. And now it's saying I still, without charging, can get to my final destination. A total now of about 271 miles, or 274 miles now with the stop, whatever, with 14% remaining. So really, really good efficiency up in these areas. We'll see how it does for the day. We're about to jump out on the highway here and head on 20 East, and then ultimately, we should be connecting with 85. I don't know if we'll take the perimeter to 85 around Atlanta or not. We're just going to go the way the Tesla tells us. It is already preconditioning the battery for fast charging, an hour and 26 minutes and 100 miles out. It's been freezing cold overnight. When I say freezing cold, not quite freezing, but around 40 degrees. To me, that's freezing cold. And so it's really got to warm the battery up. So it's starting out doing that super early, which is fine. And then that way, when we get there with a high state of charge, 67%, it will still charge at the maximum speed. There's a couple EVgo chargers along the way. I'll probably make 1 or 2 stops just to break it up today. It's been a long few days. We're not in a massive rush, and it's only about a 4-hour drive today. So I expect to get there within about 5, and we'll see how it goes. So I'll be back with you here in just a little bit. We are just getting rolling now. Thanks for following along. So FSD and Tesla Navigation took us through downtown Atlanta. 285 was backed up a lot, and 7585 was crazy as well. So it determined the fastest route is come down through the city for a mile or so and then jump back out on the 7585 connector, riding up along probably in the express lanes until we get to 85. So that's what it's doing. Meanwhile, it's driving me. We are right here downtown. There's the federal courthouse building to the left. Another really nice building here to the right. Federal building. And yeah, we are just riding along, having the car drive us. There's the State Farm Arena. Over there's the Mercedes-Benz Arena. always an adventure. Anyway, in 3/4 of a mile, we turn left and then pretty much jump out onto 75, 85 north. The Glen Hotel, or Hotel Glen, is right up here on the left. Stayed in this area many times. Let's take a look at efficiency so far this morning. Of course, now we're running through the city. And by the way, isn't this nice, letting FSD drive me through all this stuff? Really takes a lot of pressure out of it, I gotta be honest. Now that's that stutter in this version. Did you notice that? It tapped the brakes a few times. It was looking at the crosswalks for people and making split-second decisions. They have smoothed that out in the next software update in .7. But as far as I know, we don't have that update pending yet. It's checking now. Nope. But my Cybertruck has that, so supposedly it's all smoothed out and the Cybertruck drives amazingly. So we'll see how that does on the return trip. Anyway, just about out of downtown Atlanta, but I thought you might enjoy seeing this as we ride down through the center of the town. Fortunately, it is a Saturday morning. I'm almost positive it wouldn't have routed me this way if it was Monday through Friday. You got the Westin up here, straight ahead. There's a eyelash extension place. Little bakery right here to the right. Ted's Montana Grill, I've eaten there many times. They've got a really, really good bison burger, and a lot of people love the bison meatloaf. Ted Turner has a penthouse on the top floor, at least he used to. Don't know if he still does or if they still use it, but I've seen the Turners in there a couple of times as I've been there for meetings. So, my efficiency will just continue to get better as we drive through city streets, and we'll be out of here in the next just few minutes. This is going to be a quick one here through downtown. Here's the American Hotel. And we've got a red light again. There's a statue of somebody there to my left. But we are in Hotlanta. Been driving for 22 minutes, 15 miles, and got about an hour and 15 minutes to go till the Pilot Flying J EV Go charger. And I believe that's in Carnesville, Georgia. I think we turn left at this next intersection. Let's take a look. We'll zoom in. No, not quite. Got to get through a couple lights, which they'll go red. Yep. It's almost like these lights down here, and have been this way for years. I think they're just programmed on timers, and they turn whether cars are going or not, because it literally turned red and there's no vehicles going any other direction. So they really need to have sensors on them, like most cities, but it's been that way in Atlanta for a long, long time. Crown Plaza Hotel's right up ahead. And we hit a red light cycle again for zero reason. You'll see these lights just cycle. The Varsity's up here as we jump on. The Varsity's an old college place. Kids go and people go at 2, 3 in the morning to get hot dogs and hamburgers and chili and all that kind of stuff. It's a greasy spoon, fast food dive. And it looks like we're going to get stuck at this light again. So again, I don't know if you notice, these lights are cycling for no reason. There's no cars going any other direction. These are just on rapid time cycles. And they're not synced up, so they're not all connecting time-wise so that you can go. Let's hopefully be able to make this one. Nope, doesn't look like it. I mean, I could go, I would just sit in the middle of the street. We are going to pull up. We're going to sit right here and wait. Because this light in front of me will turn green before my light ends, and we'll be able to go. There went a Cybertruck turning left. By the way, the reason it was beeping and flashing is because I was pressing the accelerator to get it to edge up into the intersection. And this is the same scenario here. Everybody's trying to get out on the interstate, and you just have to wait. Will be our turn next. So you can see just that short couple of lights took, 5 extra minutes. Hence poor city planning in Atlanta. Engineering, whatever you want to call it. Traffic engineering. Well, guess what? It's our turn next. Right here on the right side, W. And in just a minute, we'll be able to jump out onto the interstate and start heading out of town. The key this morning was in the first 30 or so minutes get through Atlanta. And we are pretty early in the day. It's a Saturday morning, 9:30 a.m. Trying to beat the kind of mid-morning traffic. Saturday morning, lunchtime, everything. Traffic gets pretty bad here, so we're right on the front edge of that. And we're going to go ahead and press our way through this light. And we are going to jump in the HOV lane. I'm going to take over. And there is downtown Atlanta. The Varsity's up here on the right under this overpass, if I recall. Okay, that's it for now. I will update you here in a little bit. We're just going to keep riding along. Alright, so we just made a change. We're going to stop at the Tesla Supercharger, actually, because there are food options there. So that knocks probably 10 or so minutes off. Be there within the hour, and we'll be through the bulk of all the Atlanta area traffic and be a little bit on the north side. So that's the plan. We are riding along, should make good time now. The car is preconditioning, as you can see. And yeah, just under an hour, we'll be there. I'll be back with you here shortly. Okay, made another change. We are going to head towards that EVgo charger. There's another one, maybe another hour up the road. May hit that one instead. But we're going to stop here in the next 20 or so minutes, grab some food, something quick, and then get back on the road. So far starting out the morning, not the best efficiency, but these are pretty rough roads on, highway speeds for sure, and 330 watt hours per mile. I've been driving for 43 minutes now, 33 miles, and we are on the Georgia Pass toll lanes on 85 on the north side of Atlanta, and you can see it just racks up 50 cents, 75 cents, etc., on all these exits. But these typically go way faster, and I've been in a lot of traffic, and we've bypassed almost all of it. So it's probably not 4 or 5 minutes off. Yes, I'm spending a little bit of money, but saving time, and I don't mind that at all. So anyway, I will update you here again. It's up to 64 degrees now. It's warming up. 9:54 a.m. And as you know, we hit the road a little after 9. So hoping to make it to the hotel today, probably around 2 o'clock, 2:30. Get checked in, and then have some meetings tonight and tomorrow in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. And tomorrow at some point, probably in the afternoon, we'll be headed to Roanoke, Virginia from there, and it'll be about 2.5 hours roughly. We're staying just north of Charlotte, up near Mooresville, Lake Norman. In that area is where we'll be staying tonight. I'll keep you updated. This is just part of that continued road trip adventure as we head up 85 in Georgia, headed to South Carolina next. Okay, so we made a quick stop to a McDonald's, and let's take a look at the stats. Let me flip here. So 74 miles, 310 watt hours per mile. $23 kilowatt hours of energy used, an hour and 25 minutes. So not terrible, but obviously we lost some time going through Atlanta. We lost probably 5 minutes picking up food, but not a big deal. Making decent progress. Should be to the Charlotte area by, I'm going to estimate, 2 p.m. It's 10:35 a.m. now, 66 degrees out, and we've got about 100 miles to the next charger. It's another Pilot Flying J EVgo charger. Let's take a look where this one's at. Well, it doesn't say, but it is somewhere South Carolina. Can't remember. I'll try to look and tell you here in a little bit. But yeah, that is the plan. We're going to head there, throw some juice on, and then we're not going to do the Gaffney chargers. And then we'll be in Davidson at the Homewood Suites, which is in the Charlotte area. And I want to try to, the reason why I'm waiting to stop a little further is I want to arrive to the hotel with some juice in the pack. Don't know if there's charging there. Haven't had time to look. Don't know how close charging is nearby. And, I'd like to get there with 30 or 40%. So we'll make a nice stop, walk around, whatever, at this next charger in 100 miles, and then kind of go from there. Should arrive there with about 28% on the battery. And now I'm 98 miles away. So we're going to just ride along. I'll be back with you to report an update shortly. So this next stop in just over an hour is in Duncan, South Carolina. Should arrive around 29% in 84 miles, and has warmed up a good bit. It's 67 degrees out. We've driven 91 miles since starting out this morning, an hour and 37 minutes. Not too bad now that we're running at highway speeds. We're making up a little bit of time, getting a little better on efficiency, 303 watt hours per mile, and just really enjoying the trip here in the Model Y Juniper, most especially because of FSD and my ability to relax and let the car drive me. I mean, it drove us through downtown Atlanta, drove us off an exit to get some food, put us back on the highway, has just really, really been good. I do like these speed profiles. I can just scroll up and scroll down. I changed from standard to hurry. It boosted the speed up, then I put it back in standard. I can drop it to chill. Standard seems to lock in at a little bit higher, a little bit lower speed, depending on when you engage it. And it's a nice profile. And I like that it doesn't sit in the left lane and camp. It, passes vehicles. It gets back over to the right lane as needed. It's really just been impressive how good FSD has gotten over the last several years, and most especially in the last 6 months. It's become phenomenally good. Better than most human drivers, and certainly better than an Uber or a Lyft driver for the most part. So, really, really like it. And, looking forward to getting to the hotel today. It's only a few hours away. We've already knocked out about an hour and a half of our trip, so we've got, roughly a little bit over an hour to the charger, and then probably another hour and a half or so to the hotel. So, making great time. Until we get to the charger, we'll be 60 or 70% of the way there, so that's good. And I like the, the overall comfort, quietness, space, size, utility, practicality of this Juniper. Great vehicle. Anyway, thanks for following along. I'll be back with you here in just a little bit. And just watch here as this truck gets over. It just smoothly speeds up. I mean, that's nice. Really, really good. We are, by the way, still in the state of Georgia. You can see down there our location. And, it's been a good day. Beautiful weather the entire trip, really. So, thanks for following along. Be back shortly. So we just crossed the South Carolina line, exit 2, the giant Shelton Fireworks place. That place has been there for years. They've redone it. And kind of made this massive building, but pretty much everybody from Georgia, when they want to go get their fireworks for the 4th of July or whatever event, they come right up there to that big place and get them. Anyway, we're making great progress, riding along on I-85 in South Carolina now, headed to Duncan, South Carolina. Showing we're going to ride with 31%. Efficiency has improved as expected, down to 293 watt hours per mile. Oops, sorry, I zoomed in a bit far for you. Let me zoom you back out. I was trying to show you the fireworks. Anyway, 115 miles, 293 watt hours per mile. I've been driving for about 2 hours, and we've got 54 minutes to go. Just getting ready to pass this wide load of lumber. Looks like somebody's building a house or a shed or a building. Anyway, yeah, the roads had gotten rough there in North Georgia, and then as soon as we hit South Carolina, they opened up. And by the way, interesting story, I was riding along 85 in South Carolina back, I want to say 7 or 8 years ago, maybe. Not sure, but yeah, it's been a while ago. And I was in the right lane, cars in front of me, cars behind me, and cars in the left lane, just everybody riding along, heavy traffic. I think I was around Greenville, and I was in a Mercedes S-Class. I was actually, this would have been a bit longer because it was in my 2011 S-Class, so it would have been 2017 maybe, 2018. I put close to 200,000 miles in that car. I love the S-Class. I've had a few of them and put a ton of miles on them because I drive 50 to 75,000 miles a year. And I'm riding along about 70 miles an hour, and just following about this distance, massive pothole covering the whole left side of the lane that I was in. There was no way to avoid it. Hit it and blew out my driver's side steer tire. And if any of you know, that can be a pretty scary experience. Blew out the driver's side steer tire. Had a set of Michelins on there that weren't that old, and nowhere in Greenville had them. Called AAA, because I always keep AAA for myself and my family. It's always good to have if you road trip much. And called AAA. They had somebody out within 45 minutes, and the tow driver said he had pulled 11 other vehicles that day over a several hour span that had blown out tires in that same spot. And that while we were there, the road crew came out and started filling the pothole. Crazy. I ended up having to get the tire ordered and had to wait till the next day. I had a spare. He put the spare on. Drove into town, got a hotel room, stayed in Greenville, went to some sports bar that night and got wings, if I recall. The next morning, went to the tire shop. They had my Michelin replacement tire, threw it on, and down the road I went. But yeah, crazy. That happened not far from here. Obviously, these roads have been repaved. They're very, very smooth now. So I'll be going through Greenville today. Anyway, yeah, we're now 31% still estimated upon arrival, arriving at 12:01, 51 minutes, 289 watt-hours per mile, so doing well. 11:10 a.m., 70 degrees out. I'll be back with you here in just a little bit. Now we're getting into the rough South Carolina roads with potholes everywhere. At the state line, it was all new. Now it's back to the rough roads that are pretty darn beat up, so we'll have to keep an eye on it. We're not far from Greenville. This is actually the Anderson exit. In Anderson, there's a BMW plant and also a BMW museum. And I've been to both over the years. The museum's absolutely amazing. Open to the public. I'm not sure what their hours are, but if you're going through the area and you haven't experienced it, I highly recommend it. A lot of classic BMWs as well as a new one. I've owned, I think, a total of 9 BMWs. Plan to buy another one in the future. I'm actually keeping an eye on the iX3. May pick one of those up in the next couple of years. We'll see what happens. I'm really honestly waiting to see what Tesla does with the Model X pricing. They have the Lux package that includes free supercharging, which, as you can see by how much I road trip, I could really benefit from free charging with 50 to 75,000 miles of driving per year. The problem is they've bumped the price up of the Model X to $100,000. So I could buy one back less than 2 years ago for mid-$70,000 brand new. The same exact car now is $100,000. It's going up $20,000 to $25,000. And yes, they're including FSD, which is a quote-unquote $8,000 lifetime value, and unlimited supercharging, which for me is probably $8,000 or $10,000. But I'm still upside down. It doesn't make sense. So I'm not going to do that. But I'm watching it. You never know. End of the year, this, that, whatever. Don't need a vehicle right now, but I'm going to watch. That free charging's enticing. This EVgo charging has saved me thousands upon thousands of dollars. And right now with my Mercedes EQS until February, I do have free Electrify America. I've not gotten to benefit from that much, but I'll be using the EQS for travel here soon as well. So I plan to take it to Corpus Christi, Texas soon, and I'll hit Electrify Miracle on the way down and back and take advantage of my free charging. Anyway, I think the BMW place is up here on the left. I don't think it's that far, but I thought it was right around Anderson. Maybe I've passed it and I missed it. Still continues to be a beautiful driving day. 69 degrees out. Is that it? Oh, that's a factory of some sort. Vertiv. Some type of building, anyway. Nice Tyson Foods trailer. Really, really nice looking equipment out of Springdale, Arkansas. I used to do a lot of business in Springdale, Arkansas. From there call it Chickendale, Arkansas, because of Tyson being based there. A lot of people from there worked at Tyson, and they won't eat chicken, not because of the conditions, but because of what they went through working at those big factories, the chicken places. So, pretty interesting. 287 watt-hours per mile on this trip to hours and 13 minutes, 135 miles in, less than 40 minutes to go to the next stop. Pleased with that, arriving with around 30%. Yeah, I really thought BMW place was right along there. Maybe I missed it. Stick with me for another minute, at least another exit, and we'll see if we see it. You can see I'm riding along at highway speeds in standard and getting passed fairly quickly as I ride down the middle lane. I mean, our car's coming up constantly passing me in the left lane. And I like the standard mode a lot. Before, the last version of FSD, you'd roll the scroll wheel up and down, this right scroll wheel up and down, and it really wouldn't affect the speed. It just did whatever it wanted to do. And even though it would say it was increasing or decreasing speed, it was like adjustable, and FSD did what it wanted. Now you can't adjust the speed, you just adjust the profile, and it really adjusts the speed. I like having 5 different levels, from sloth all the way to Mad Max, and you can quickly and easily dial the speed up and down as you drive. So that's an amazing feature that they've added. Up here it is. Is that it? That might be the factory. Right over there. No, that's Ryobi. Yeah, that's Ryobi's place. That's a newer building right along there. Beautiful building. Wow, nice job, Ryobi. Anderson University. Yeah, let's keep our eye out. The BMW place has got to be right up along here. They actually have a little track there, too, near the factory, near the museum, where you can either take delivery of your car and then take it on a track, or you can do a BMW driving experience there. Really, really cool. The reason why it keeps telling me to put my hand on wheels is it detected the mobile device, and it just simply does not like that. Carolina Auto Auction. Nice, it's 70 out, which is good. So 1,280 miles on the Halo Black wheel covers. About 270 watt-hours per mile versus 262 in the lifetime of the car. So I'm a couple of percent less efficient with them. But keep in mind, this is almost all highway miles on this 1,281 miles, so it's not a fair comparison. Need to give it more time with some blended driving to see what really shakes out. Let's flip it in a hurry and watch what happens almost immediately. Jumps to the left lane and passes. Now we can flip it back to standard. Minutes to go. We're just going to have you ride along with me for one more exit, and then I'll take a little break and focus on the drive. Oh, by the way, I should have told you the charging last night. It got the car up to 89%, and then it stopped because it ran out of preloaded money, even though I had it set up for auto load. Yeah, it stopped at 89% charging. I then, when I went down to the fitness center this morning, I went out to the car and restarted the charging. It's one of those apps that you have to keep money loaded into the card, and then when it runs out, it reloads, but it does stop charging, which is ridiculous. So if I use that again, I'll have to bump that up or add money. It ended up costing a total of about $25 to get it up to full from what I pulled in with yesterday. So not cheap, 45 cents a kilowatt hour. That is pricey. Hotel charging a lot of times can be free. Honestly, I'm just happy to have it because of the convenience factor. I just think they should be priced in that 20 to 30 cent range because it is level 2 charging. It's not DC fast charging. They're not paying for that high surge pricing. They're just making money on it, which, hey, the convenience factor to me, I'm going to pay it because the car is then full when I wake up and I'm able to do what I did here today. You know, I'm driving 75 miles to my first stop. I'm still going to have 30% on the battery. I was able to stop and get food. I mean, that convenience of not having to stop sooner, to me, it's just worth it to wake up to a full tank. It's part of what I love about having an EV and being at home is it's always full. I mean, you always wake up with a full vehicle. So that's amazing, amazing, amazing. So I don't know, maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe the BMW museum's up towards Greenville. But, oh, hey, we tried to see it. Maybe I'll see it in a minute. I'll grab the camera and show you. But, again, as always, thanks for following along. Stick with me, and I'll be back with you momentarily. So I've been on phone calls. I don't know if I missed that BMW museum. I'm sure I did. I mean, I know I missed it. Anyway, that's a shame. But 10 minutes out, 9 miles, and it just started preconditioning the battery for fast charging again. You remember it was doing that earlier this morning. The battery was just really cold from cold soaking overnight and sitting outside. And we're down to 281 watt-hours per mile. We've been driving for 2 hours and 38 minutes, 167 miles. So we'll have gone about 175 miles on the first leg, and only, I think, about 100 miles to go. We're more than halfway there, which is great. It's 11:48, 73 degrees out. Still looks like we're going to get there with about 30% at 11:57. The charger's still available. We'll see what happens when we get there. But it's been a pretty smooth, uneventful drive, thank goodness. By the way, 33% left on the battery, and it's showing 103 miles of EPA estimated range. And it's one thing to know about the test. So when you click the percentage, it'll change it to miles. That percentage, and the percentage is what you want to follow, in my opinion. The miles are EPA rated miles. They're not real world. If you want your real world miles, which is really cool, if you hit your energy graph, which is right here, it can show you. There's trip, and right here is rated. And I was trying to see consumption. Here we go. So it says projected range is 88. Now up here, if I click this, 101 miles. So 101 miles rated, but actual range is 87 right now based on the way I've been driving. So you can actually see, but Tesla always puts your EPA rated up here. Some other vehicles like the Rivian, whatever, it dynamically changes, and it actually puts real world, like the Ford, like my Mercedes, like many other vehicles, work just like gas cars. In a Tesla, this can be deceiving if you use miles, because it goes off that EPA rating, not real world how you're driving. So that's something to know that I don't think most people understand. Excuse me. This cold weather is really starting to get to me. So we are almost there. 5 minutes. I will show you as we get to the charger. So we're in Duncan, South Carolina. By the way, we just passed your BMW manufacturing plant. So yeah, I'm stupid. And right here is the BMW Museum on the left. Really beautiful car museum. They have a delivery experience center there as well. And there's a BMW factory. That's where they make most of the SUVs, like the X3 in the U.S. is made right here in Greer, South Carolina. That's right. I was thinking it was Anderson or Greenville. It's Greer. So, hey, I didn't miss it. It was there. I just forgot where it was. Anyway, pretty cool experience if you get a chance going through Greer, South Carolina. Check out that BMW museum. Some really cool, not only the new modern X3, X5 vehicles that are built in Greer, but also the more historic vehicles as well. Just a really, really cool place. I guess you might as well follow along with me as we are about to get off the exit. And here's, I don't understand that. We're in standard. We're not in hurry or Mad Max. And it jumps to the left lane to get around these cars. And we're only, less than 3 miles out. Just seems a bit strange to me why I just didn't wait and ride along. But hey, it is what it is. And by the way, is the BMW iX3 going to be built in Greer? That would be interesting. If it is, it might be cool to take delivery there. I'm in this area on the East Coast fairly often, and I could do that. So now it's jumping over behind these cars, maybe. No. Guessing it'll get past this truck right up here and then switch over. Tanker truck with nitrogen refrigerated liquid. Lindy truck. And yeah, so it did better than I would have. I'd have probably sat behind that traffic, so it might have saved me a minute or two. I am going to dial it back to chill because I know now it'll jump behind these cars rather than push it. it still gives me a little anxiety how it waits until half or a third of a mile from the exit to get over. I like to get over within about a mile of the exit. It pushes it, and I keep thinking it's going to miss an exit, although it never has. I play with that control setting. Wow. That's not good. Unbelievable. Doesn't seem safe at all. Anyway, here we are. We're jumping off the exit. We're going to turn left once we get off the exit. And then the Pilot Flying J is on the other side of the road. There it is. It's a Pilot, this one. And the light is red. This is one of those strange crossovers. But anyway, we're going right over there. And we're going to get plugged in. Get some juice. So stats for this, like 175 miles, 277 watt hours per mile. Again, as I thought, we would get better overall efficiency on the East Coast, and we're starting to see that. "73 degrees out. At least it warmed up a little bit. It's very, very cloudy and dreary, though. And we are basically here just waiting for this light to change. Off we go. And it very smartly got in the far right lane. And I'm looking for the chargers. I don't see them, but I'm sure they're there. So it's good. I'll be here at 30%. Should get a decent charge. Probably not quite 200 kilowatts at that high state of charge, but no big deal. We really didn't need a charge there. I can see the chargers right down there to the right. We really didn't need a charge to get to the destination. But we're going to juice up nonetheless. Tap the brake and take over. That was a Tesla just pulled into the Wendy's parking lot. And it looks like the chargers are wide open. Once again, a terrible vacuuming job. But I would say that'll do, other than the fact that I might want to open the rear hatch. So let me just slide the car over just a little bit. Okay, I'd say that's good. Let me go ahead and get plugged in, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, payment is authorized. See, the top of the charger has gone green. I don't know if you can see that one over there, but it's blue. Two 350 kilowatt, two handles each. They split charging theoretically at 175 a piece on 800 volt cars. Most I typically see is in the low 150s when they split. This thing should ramp up pretty quickly. Already up to 180. Hey, we saw 200 kilowatts. That's pretty good. 204. Nice. Should pump out about 3 kilowatt hours in the first minute. Which, don't you wish Tesla's just held that 200 kilowatts up to about 80%? They'd be one of the best road trippers there is if that was the case. Wow, to 206. That's pretty good. Now it's starting to taper down a little bit. Already gained a few percent on the car. 45 seconds in. Now down to about 190 kilowatts. You can see that Tesla terrible charging curve tapering down. And we're going to see 3 kilowatts, and the screen will flip to the screensaver in just a second. There you go. Okay, here's the EV base adapter, and I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, been charging here for about 15 minutes, put on about 28 kilowatt hours of energy. Already up to almost 70%, but my wife has to go in and do business, take care of business, get something to drink, whatever she's doing. Boy, I apologize. This, the weather, the seasonality change really impacts me. Anyway, we're only pulling 72 kilowatts, typical Tesla charging curve, which is disappointing and could be better. And listen, for most of y'all, your road trip once a year, it's not a big deal. It's worked fine for me. We're taking longer than the Chargers, but I wish this thing charged anywhere close to like the Mercedes EQS. It would be amazing. And I can't wait to see the next version of the German cars like the iX3. I think it's going to be remarkably good, which is why I'm heavily considering picking one of them up soon after they come out. Anyway, we've got 97 miles to go, about an hour and a half, kind of like I thought. Right now, if we depart, get there at 1:45, it'll be a little bit till we're ready to go. And then we'll hit the road and get out of here. All in all, my thoughts so far today, you know, that 175 miles, 277 watt-hours per mile, it's been good, smooth, easy, uneventful, and we're almost there. I may go ahead and look for a charger nearby, and you can see there are a ton of them. I may just pop off one, throw a little juice in real quick. It's a busy, busy area. All of these are. I don't know, we may do that one. That's a newer version 4 dispenser, and I could just throw some quick juice on for just a few minutes. Let me look at the actual satellite view. It's just in a parking lot of a shopping center. Yeah, I might do that. For now, I'm going to program it in. Gives me the option, again, getting there with 40%. Okay, I at least have that in the navigation if I need to, and let's take a look. It looks like charging there for 15 minutes, so it's about 10 minutes from the hotel. And let me remove it again. And there's the hotel. Let me see what's right near the hotel. We've got a charger right there at Lowe's Foods. And let me jump on ChargeWay and PlugShare and see what's right around the hotel. I'll be right back with you. Okay, so only pulling 48 kilowatts, you'll see battery almost full. So, however, it could do better. We're at 83%. We're finally ready to go. Been here, I'm gonna say 25 minutes and plugged in. So, shows we'll get to the hotel at 1:55 with 47%, but I think we're gonna make a stop at that charger that I showed earlier. So bear with me 1 second. Let's click the screen and see what it says. Yep, 27 minutes, 40 kilowatts. about 41 kilowatts of energy and pulling 46. So let's hit stop charge, end session. Click, click. Okay, I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, we're back on the road, have 81% on the battery, been driving 5 minutes. Made a decision, we're going straight to the hotel. We're gonna get there with 47%. We way overcharged at EVgo, but guess what? It didn't cost anything. That was a free charging session. We had stuff we needed to do, and now we can just go straight to the hotel and skip that charger there at the mall. So 12:33 p.m., 73 degrees out, and you'll see we're at 357 watt hours per mile. So not great consumption, but we just came off of a DC fast charging session, and that's okay. That Lexus beside me swerving all over the road. She was grabbing her coffee, grabbing her phone. Older lady really struggling to drive. Anyway, 90 miles away, an hour and 20 minutes. And like I mentioned, arriving with 47%. We're going to jump off onto 485, which is kind of one of the perimeters, beltways around Charlotte. And it's the Pineville, Huntersville exit, number 30, coming up in just a little bit. I'll be back with you here shortly. We are making good progress, and I love how it doesn't camp in the left lane. It actually rode the right lane for a long time. It just switched into the middle lane because of the on-ramp right there. But it's in standard. It's basically riding with traffic, doing a great job. Absolutely loving FSD this trip. And see, that's kind of what FSD did. It rode in that right lane and was going faster than most of the traffic. And then it switched back to the middle lane. Meanwhile, I've got a car camping in the left lane. Little Ford Ranger XLT pickup, cool looking pickup, but those cars all had to go in the right lane to pass that Ranger. Meanwhile, FSD has done the right things. It's more human-like than not human. Anyway, 281 watt hours per mile, 41 miles so far. Still at 67%. Going to arrive at the hotel with 46%. Plenty of juice for being around town and what we need to do. And going to get off the Pineville exit in exit 30 in 32 miles. 1 p.m., 73 degrees out, and it's been a fun drive. Here's one of the other fireworks places just inside of South Carolina from North Carolina. That's the Shelton Fireworks, another big one. Very similar building to the one we saw coming into South Carolina from Georgia. So South Carolina is pretty much wide open with explosives and fireworks and all kinds of stuff. So much more open laws than Georgia or North Carolina. So people will come across the state lines to take advantage of that. Anyway, yeah, fairly uneventful still. Nice driving day, pretty dreary out, and definitely feels like winter up here. It just feels way colder, and you can tell by the leaves and the trees and everything else that we are heading north. The trees are getting pretty barren and very little color other than on the evergreens, so it is that time of the year. It is mid-November 2025. Okay, I'll be back with you here shortly. Okay, so we are 27 minutes, 27 miles. 1:50 p.m., arriving with 47%. Efficiency has improved dramatically. A little bit lower speeds, but also just the highways are much, much smoother. Not as much friction, not as much crosswind, and 260 watt hours per mile for the last 70 miles in 55 minutes. So obviously making really good time based on just those numbers I just gave you. In 3.5 miles, we're going to exit right on 485, the perimeter, take that up around, and then we're going to head to Davidson. So all in all, the trip is going very well. We've got 58% on the battery currently. It's 74 degrees out, and we are basically in the Charlotte area now. and just going to be riding up around. So glad to be here and loving driving the Tesla. And I'll tell you what, the full self-driving just makes it so nice. I wish the other vehicles had it. This is such a game changer and so nice. I'm really looking forward to the comfort and space of the Cybertruck. And I know that's a polarizing vehicle and it looks stupid to a lot of people on the outside. I really don't care, A, what it looks like on the outside, and B, what people really think. It really drives wonderfully and it's so comfortable and so much space, so practical. Absolutely love it, and I'm looking forward to a road trip in it. So anyhow, I'm going to get back to it and I will update you here shortly. There's some water out there and a couple boat docks as we're passing by, probably along the lakeside, along the southwest corner of Charlotte. Okay, kind of finishing up this leg for today. Only 2 miles remaining. That car just kept slowing down. 2 miles remaining, 1 mile for the exit, and let's see, we are 256 watt-hours per mile. Very good efficiency for the last 96 miles, an hour and 17 minutes. And yeah, we're about to get off the exit, headed to the Homewood Suites right here. Let me change my view. And should arrive with around 49%, a little better than expected. So far, good trip for the day. I'll try to give you an update here from the hotel. We do not have charging, but that kind of wraps it up for today. Tomorrow, we'll be headed up to Roanoke, Virginia from the Charlotte, North Carolina area. Right here's the lake and some of the houses and apartments, townhouses, whatever, along the lake. 1,412 miles on the halo back covers, 268 watt-hours per mile. And again, now I'm seeing the legendary amazing efficiency. So thanks for following along. I will be back with you shortly as we head to Roanoke, Virginia. So we've been out running some errands and just zipping around town. I started preconditioning here probably a little bit ago. That's why my consumption is so high, and you'll see it climbing as the car's sitting here. The HVAC system's ripping. We're preconditioning to this charger, which is this one right here. 12 stalls, 250 kilowatt at Lowe's Food in Mooresville, North Carolina. We're going to run up there, want to check that area out a little bit, and then throw some juice in real quick while we're there. So that's the plan. I'll probably be leaving here in 10 or so minutes, and it looks like stalls 1A and 1B are out of order, so I need to remember that. Usually pops up on the screen down here telling me. It's been a minute since I've charged this vehicle at a Tesla supercharger, but we're going to go do that, and it's about a 15 or so minute drive, as you can see. Only about 8 miles, if I recall. Let's take a look. 9 miles, so that is the plan, and I'll update you here from the charger. Okay, just getting ready to pull into the Tesla supercharger here at Lowe's Foods. I've actually charged here before, and there was a restaurant over there I've eaten at before. Met some customers, but I charged my Cybertruck here one time on the way from Roanoke, Virginia to Charlotte, North Carolina. And that lady had a stop sign, but was not going to stop. But it's okay. And let's see, the car should back into a charger stall. One A and 1B are out of service. Okay, great job, Tesla. Let me get it plugged in. Let's take a look at the stats. Running around town, 310 watt-hours per mile. It was ripping preconditioning here for a while. But let's plug in and see what kind of speeds we get. 2B. Should go blue flashing, communicating, and then green flashing. By the way, the more rapidly this is flashing, the faster it's charging. As it fills up, that light flashes more slowly. And did you know on your home charger, if you click that a bunch of times, this will be a rainbow colored light. It flashes different colors. A little pro tip. Okay, popped right up to 186 kilowatts, and it'll start tapering down. So I'm just going to charge here for a few minutes. If I charge to full, it would take just under an hour. Not going to do that. Just going to sit here for a few minutes and get some juice. Let me check my software to see if we have an update. We do not. Okay, I'll be back with you here as I finish up charging, and we'll take a look and see what it costs. You can see so far we're at 39 cents a kilowatt hour, put on 2.6 kilowatt hours of energy, and it's cost about $1 so far. I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, I've been charging for 9 minutes and have jumped up to 60% from 37%. Gonna just give it another minute or two and then unplug. Still pulling 91 kilowatts, which is again not great. That's part of the Tesla charging curve. You'll see I've added $7.34 of cost at 18, almost 19 kilowatt hours of energy. Love that it does that. And you'll see, by the way, since that last charge, 125 miles, 266 watt hours per mile. So far on this trip, 1,100 miles, I spent $20 at the one hotel, about $25 at the other hotel, and so far, you know, probably pushing $10 here. So maybe $55 to go 1,100 miles. Not too bad. That free charging really, really helps. So, anyway, I'll be back with you and let you know as I finish charging. So we're about to get unplugged here in just a minute. Still pulling 73 kilowatts at 68%. Again, not great. It should be pulling double that in my opinion. That's just the Tesla charging curve. Now, pulled in at what, 37%? You saw the numbers at 420. So we've been here for 14 minutes up to 68%. I mean, it's tolerable, but we literally just came to top up. So, you know, just sitting here doing email and stuff while the car's charging. Normally, I don't ever do that. That's a real rarity and not ideal, but it really demonstrates how we need to improve charging speeds here in the US. Chinese cars, unbelievable charging speeds. Way, way, way better in general, especially their latest stuff. And the German stuff is absolutely becoming amazing. So, there are better options out there. Frankly, the Lucid Gravity charges very, very well. So, that iX3 is looking more and more attractive as far as a road tripping vehicle. We'll see what that thing's like. But we're right at 15 minutes. We're at 70%. Let's get unplugged. It's pretty easy. I mean, it's literally a matter of just pressing this button and it'll go white. There we go. Dock it up. The car automatically closes the charging flap, and we are off. I will update you tomorrow morning as we're headed up the road. Forgot to give you the final charging cost. $10.11, right at $10, like I thought. And we're at 70%. So we are off. And again, I will update you tomorrow. Planning to head out of the hotel by 1 p.m. to head to Roanoke, Virginia. Okay, so here's a trip update. Driving through Cornelius, North Carolina, headed back to Davidson, to the hotel. And it's a beautiful, beautiful area. Just got done with meetings, running around, etc. And it looks like the road may be closed. Let's see what's going on. Detour ahead. But if you look down below, 29 miles and 249 watt hours per mile. That's running around town locally. And right now I've got to go 1.4 miles. It's saying about 5 minutes. There's a nice looking Mercedes in the same color as my EQS. Really, really sharp. Anyway, sorry, squirrel. So we're in this area. Had some meetings last night, meetings today. Running around. Have burnt 7.2 kilowatt hours of battery, 247 watt hours per mile. Overall, lowering this halo back cover lifetime. We're down to 53% on the battery. We're going to go get loaded up at the hotel, and it's 12:20 p.m., 75 degrees. Beautiful day in mid-November 2025 here in North Carolina. And again, this is a gorgeous area. We're going to get loaded up and head up the road to Roanoke, Virginia, which will end this road trip. I appreciate you following along over the last several days as we've road tripped here. But yeah, so we're like I said, we're going to get out of town. Maybe just ride along with me for another minute here. And let's see what this looks like. Got a nice red Model 3 Tesla behind me. Let me show you. There we go. It's not the new Highland, it's the older style, but nonetheless a nice vehicle. Seen quite a few Teslas, Rivians, and all that stuff in this area. Davidson is a college town. Again, had some meetings here in this area. It is now Sunday morning, and like I said, we're going to take off. So I'll get back to the hotel. I will update you as we're leaving. My plan is to get out of there by 1 p.m. at the latest. I think we'll be successful doing that. We'll stop once or twice along the way. It's only about a 2.5-hour drive, maybe just one time. I haven't even mapped it out yet. I will as we hit the road, and I'll update you live as we go. Probably just hit a Tesla supercharger today. I doubt I'll worry too much about EVgo, just due to time and whatever. But I'll probably, once I plug in the nav, I'll check the EVgo app quickly. If there is one of the Pilot Flying J's, those are pretty convenient. We may go ahead and hit one. We'll see. Time will tell. But coming up soon. Looks like we might have a construction vehicle or a cop car or something down here holding up traffic. Or maybe directing traffic after church was out. Oh yeah, there's somebody down here directing traffic. Yep. Cool area though. Anyway, I'll be back with you here shortly. Okay, I just got past the traffic control area. I thought I'd show you some of the properties up through here and some of the houses. Again, a really, really cool area. We've got to wait here to turn left. Up over the railroad tracks and into Davidson we go. So we are 0.9 miles from the hotel. There's a nice Rivian R1S in white. Another Tesla parked right here. Almost there, just a couple more stop signs to the hotel. It's 12:25. We made it through that traffic control area more quickly than I thought. Let's let the lady walk with her dog. It's beautiful here mid-November, which is encouraging. You know, I definitely like this area. There's a bunch of little townhouses right along here. Nice shops, restaurants, nice little traffic circle. And this is a unique Homewood that we're staying in. I'll show you that here in just a second. And yes, I'm manually driving. I could have just had FSD handle things, right? Probably would have been better than me. Here we are pulling into the hotel. How's that for unique Homewood? And here we are. Okay. I'll be back with you as we hit the road to Roanoke, Virginia, and I get everything plugged into the navigation, and we'll kind of go from there. Thanks for following along. Okay, I just punched in the navigation, Hampton Inn, Roanoke. It's Salem East, Electric Road. Shows 10%. Here's what's weird. The charging stop just shows Circle K. But if you click it, it's Mount Airy, North Carolina. That's kind of strange, but it shows we'll get there with about 17% at 1:52, just over an hour. Charge there for 10 minutes, and then about another hour and a half to Roanoke, Virginia. It's taking Route 77 straight up to Roanoke, which is about perfect. I'm going to glance and see if it makes sense to hit a EVgo, but that's probably the route I'm going to take. So let me take a look at that, and I'll be back with you here shortly. So yeah, there is a EVgo, just a little off route, but we're just going to stick with Tesla today. I'm not going to run off route. This one's at a Circle K. I've charged there before. It's a pretty good version for posts. Version 3 chargers. Does a good job. So that's the plan. We're going to stick with the Tesla supercharger for now and kind of see how it goes. So we're headed up the road. So far, we've driven 7 minutes, 6.8 miles, and the Tesla FSD was trying to move into this lane that's closing to get around that vehicle. I quickly flipped the turn signal and stopped it from doing that. Anyway, we've only got 57 minutes, 63 miles to the charger. We'll arrive there with 17%, juice up for 10 or so minutes, and then head on to Salem, Virginia. So no big deal. Should be an easy one today. And looking forward to getting the hotel in Roanoke, where we'll be for the next several days. So, again, thanks for following along. Overall, since the last charge, you can see 264 watt-hours per mile and about 38 miles. A lot of just running around town to various meetings and whatnot. And now we are up the road. Beautiful day here in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. It's going to get colder as I climb north in elevation to Roanoke, Virginia. It is 78 degrees currently, and I think in Roanoke right now it's 63, so about a 15 degree difference in temperature. And you'll see it's beautiful blue skies. I think Roanoke might be a little cloudy. We'll see how it goes, but we'll be there momentarily. I will keep you updated as I get closer to the charger today. So beautiful, beautiful blue skies, but it's gotten colder. It's 71 degrees out now, as you can see, as we head north and gain higher elevation. So we are 26 minutes, 27 miles away, going to arrive with about 19% at the supercharger Circle K. And by the way, I wanted to point out that Tesla is fixing this. A lot of people have complained. Now it's just showing the name of the charger location. It used to show the city-state. I read a post on X yesterday from Tesla charging team, or Wes at Tesla, or someone, saying they're going to change that and they're going to include both the location name and the city-state, which makes the most sense. It's fine by me. I mean, it's just a change, but okay, now I know I'm going to a Circle K, which is really convenient. I click it, it tells me where it's at. It's in Mount Airy, but people want it to appear there. I think it's a lot of nitpicking, but I get it. Anyway, 44 miles, 36 minutes, 312 watt-hours per mile, and 75 miles since the last charge, as you can see, 287 watt-hours per mile. We're climbing, and then we'll be heading down into the Roanoke Valley. I should see some better efficiency on the last little bit of this trip. Taking the route we took instead of going the Tennessee route certainly is worse overall efficiency than what this car would be used to. I am at over 11,000 miles now on the vehicle. You've seen me flip 10,000 miles, and now you've seen me flip 11,000 miles, all on this one road trip over just a couple of days span. So absolutely loving FSD. It's been incredible, remarkable, and if you don't have it for $99 a month, give it a shot. I wouldn't recommend buying it right now. It's $8,000. That would be 80 months. The problem is, are they going to raise the price when they make it fully autonomous? It's possible. I bought it on 2 of my original Teslas. From that point forward, I've just been paying as I go. Nice thing about that is you can shut it off at any time. If you're not going to road trip in the vehicle for a few months, or you're not using it much, or you just don't feel like you need it, you can take a pause, or if you want to save the money. So pretty cool that you have options. I think it's game changer technology, and it is underrated now and probably underappreciated. I think people will be blown away if they actually use it. It's been so good this trip. I love it. I'm really looking forward to the newer version that's in the Cybertruck. Speaking of which, let's check for software updates. We are on the early release program. Nope, none today. That's the way to check, by the way, even though you have it on advanced. If you click the vehicle icon down here and you click software, it'll check once every 24 hours, and you'll see it just checked on November 16th, which is today at 1:29 p.m., which was right now. So, yeah, I forced it to check. It will check itself when it's on advanced, and it will download it, but not every 24 hours. So eventually the car will come up and notify you it has an update, and you have to connect to Wi-Fi in order to download it. Anyway, I've got 31% on the battery. I'm almost there. This is just a short little leg, and then maybe another hour and a half to the hotel, something like that. So I'll be back with you here shortly. Okay, so at 12 miles out from the exit, 13 miles from the destination total, preconditioning from battery for fast charging, easy for me to say. It's 1:37 p.m., 71 degrees out, 27% left on the battery, going to arrive with 20%, and just almost there. So this has been a quick little jaunt. You can see I've been driving 47 minutes, 311 watt-hours per mile, just a constant elevation climb. I don't know if it shows that well in the camera, but excuse me, we've just been heading uphill the entire time. We will get to a point, and then we'll start dropping elevation into the Roanoke Valley. It's between some mountains, really, and that's where you get better efficiency, kind of in that final little leg. But yeah, all in all, it's a nice driving day. FSD's made this so smooth and easy. It does not camp in the left lane. It does stay over here to pass when it sees relatively fast passing. But if it sees a car behind me, it jumps over to the right, lets the car by, then gets back to the left. I'm running it in standard, and it's really phenomenal changes here with V14. Just outrageously good. If you don't have it, you're going to get it soon. If you have a new Model Y, any hardware 4 car, just wow is all I can say. So I'll be back with you here as we get to the charger. Look at that. It's just it's going to pop over to the right lane right now and just continue the trip. By the way, it's super windy. Lots of crosswind. Tough to see without the leaves on the trees, but you can see it right there. I mean, it is just whipping the car all over the place as we go. And FSD is managing it. You'll see the wheel, and maybe you can notice that, maybe you can't, but it's negotiating the wheel back and forth as the car seesaws, just very slightly. It's moving it around and doing what it needs to do. Anyway, I'll be back with you here shortly. Okay, we are almost here, just over half a mile away from the exit. And the car has decided to pass. I'm going to leave it do its thing. stats on that leg: 70 miles, 55 minutes, 318 watt-hours per mile. We are rapidly slowing down as we get off this exit. And you can see the Circle K is right down here on the right. Charged here many times as I've traveled from Virginia to North Carolina and back. This is actually a newer Circle K, and I'm trying to remember. It may be V3s. I can't remember 100% on this one. If it's V3s or V3 Plus, you know, the V4 dispensers with the V3 cabinetry and hardware. But let's take a look. Actually, I'm not going to go the way the car's going to go. It wants to drive around the back of the building. We're just going to go this way. And yeah, they are V3s, but that's no big deal. Let's go ahead and get plugged in right over here beside this other Model Y. Okay, let's get plugged in and see how it does. We're at 21%, by the way, on the battery. I can already tell it's cold out. It's 67 degrees. I don't think we got plugged in all the way here. Let me try that again. Tap it. There we go. Let's check the car. Maybe it was charging. It just didn't feel like it was connected all the way. And right up to 216, 220, 225, 232, 235, 240, and there you go, 243 kilowatts. Wants me to charge here for 6 minutes. And we're already up to 24%. You'll see down here we're paying 35 cents a kilowatt hour. So far it's cost just about $1. I'll be back with you here shortly. Okay, been here just over 15 minutes. That was me inside of the store. Got real busy in there. There was a big line. I used one of those automated readers. I set all my stuff on the thing. It read it all. And I tapped my card and paid and left. So that was actually pretty cool, but I had to figure out what I wanted, how to use the facilities, whatever. And already charged up to 65%. We'll get to the hotel with 27%. Hopefully there's charging available at the hotel. If not, there is charging right near there. So we're gonna hit the road. I'm gonna get unplugged, and I'll be back with you here in just a minute. Once I get unplugged, let's take a look. Are you ready then? Are you ready then? Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get unplugged. I was just making sure my wife was ready to go. And off we go. Okay, so 60 degrees out, 2:35 p.m. I'm at 49% on the battery. We've got an hour to go, and I was gonna stop at this supercharger here at Sheetz in Salem, but I have decided to skip that. We're just gonna go straight to the Hampton Inn. There is level 2 charging there. We'll see if I can get on the charging. And right now it shows an hour and 4 minutes. It is saying that we'll get there with about 30%. We're going to see pretty good efficiency here for this last leg once I get on 81. We're at 358 watt hours per mile currently, 35 miles. And 11,093 miles overall in the car, 263 watt hours per mile. Again, just been an incredible drive. Thanks for following along with me. You can see definitely everything's brown here, no leaves at all in the trees. We are into a much colder climate now, and we're in the higher elevations. So I will be back with you here for another update in just a few minutes. Okay, 3:01 p.m., 59 degrees out, so under 60 degrees. Remember, we left, it was 77 degrees. So right now, we're close to 20 degrees difference between this Roanoke, Virginia area and Charlotte, North Carolina. So pretty big delta, more so than I even thought. 302 watt hours per mile, been driving for just about an hour, 54 minutes. We've got 39 minutes to go, almost there, arriving with around 29%. We're just riding along, letting FSD do its job. And beautiful part of the country, the rolling hills, mountains, etc. But we will be losing elevation here going into Roanoke, and that's why you've seen that begin to really improve compared to what it was earlier when you looked at it. See the cattle up on the side of the hill. Really a beautiful part of the country for sure. Okay, I'll be back with you here in just a little bit. Okay, so we are almost there, less than 10 miles to the exit and 13 miles to the hotel. 277 watt hours per mile. You can see it's improved. We're going through these rolling hills as we're losing elevation going into Roanoke, Virginia. We're going to be getting off exit 140 here, like I said, in less than 10 miles. Let's take a look. We've driven 87 miles an hour and 11 minutes. Been running at highway speeds. FSD, again, just keep commenting on it. It's so good. Version 14 is so good. Other than in that parking lot, I took a different path. It's driven me the entire way. Shifting lanes, going around traffic, swerving around objects and potholes in the road. It's just massively improved. On city streets, it's outrageously good. We drove all around the Charlotte, North Carolina area, north of Charlotte, and took me all over the place where I didn't know where I was going. I am just very, very pleased now with how far along this car has come and how far along Tesla has gotten this software. Super helpful. Shows we're going to arrive with 29%. That's been fluctuating between 28 and 30. Again, we're only a few miles out, so I'll try to give you another update, and then we've got the final here when we get to the hotel in just a few minutes. That'll be the final trip update. We're at 1,630 miles so far on these halo back wheel covers, 270 watt hours per mile. I mean, you could argue that they're worse than the factory wheel covers at this point, but this has all been high-speed highway, less efficient route, so I don't think it's fair to make an assessment until I make the return trip here in the next few weeks with this car back to Dallas-Fort Worth, and then I'll have about 3,000 miles on those covers, and then I think that's a fair comparison at that point. So we'll see what happens. I like them though. I think they look great. They're very good quality, very well built, and yeah, they're nice. So I do recommend you check those out if you want that type of look and appearance. Anyway, see how it just doesn't camp in the left lane anymore? I love that. It lets faster cars go around. It shifts to the right lane. Really, really super nice. Okay, I'll be back with you here shortly. Okay, we're in a construction zone. I don't know any reason for it other than people were just going slow. But yeah, we're doing about 20 miles an hour. Just came into it though. And due to losing elevation, we're down to 265 watt-hours per mile for the last 95 miles. And we are almost there, about 6 miles away. So just a few minutes. Got to get off exit 140 here in 1.4 miles. It has warmed up a little coming into this valley. It's 62 degrees out. So yeah, usually it's 10 to 15 degrees difference between the Charlotte, North Carolina and the Roanoke, Virginia area, give or take, and we're seeing that to be true today. Got 31% on the battery. Still sticking around 29% on arrival, so we'll see how that goes, but it is the next exit coming up, so we'll be there in just a few minutes. Okay, good news here at the hotel. They actually, last time I reported they had charging problems, they fixed it. They put in 5 Tesla universal wall connectors. By the way, here's final stats. 100 miles, 259 watt-hours per mile. Really good efficiency on the last leg. 1,642 total miles. It is 61 degrees out, 3:39 p.m. We are ending this trip. Thank you for following along. 1,642 miles minus 333. So what is that? 1,309 miles total to Roanoke, Virginia. 269 watt-hours per mile. Let me show you these chargers real quick, and we will end this video. New construction. Check this out. They are pay-per-use, which I'm totally fine with. That one's on the ground. But great job, Tesla, and great job, Hampton Inn here in Salem, Virginia. It was free. It's now pay to use, and they've got the parking spots marked. I'm very, very happy with this. So I'm going to go ahead and plug the car in, let it juice up, and I'll be back with you here for the next video in the near future. Please follow along, click like, click subscribe. Have a good day, everyone. So I just wanted to end this and show you, if you didn't know, these Tesla universal wall connectors have this handy dandy button right here, and you can take out the J1772 connector. You push it back up in, push the Tesla button, well, maybe, and that pulls right out, and there is the NACS adapter. So once again, that or that. Really, really slick. Absolutely love these chargers. Glad they put them in, and all 5 of them. Some new pavement here. Really great job here, Hampton and Tesla. Thank you for that.